And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, BL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, man. Being not as active on camera last week as I had hoped. Managed to get out some shorts, get out at least one video. This week we're gonna try to correct that and get back to business. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope everything is well on your end. Yeah, we're still dealing with our ongoing issues with um our stream lagging. I've been working with my provider. Got a new router, got some backup stuff. Like we're working the problem at both ends, guys. Just so you know, we're working the problem at both ends. And we're gonna continue to move forward. Today, man, I wanted to talk about what's going on with the Saint in the Center and Fresh and Fit. Um there seems to be a thing going on, and I want to get into it and see if we can't get to the bottom of it, man. See what's really going on, right? So let's do this, bro. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed. So a lot of people have been hitting me up. This is just real quick notes before we get into what we're about to get into. A lot of people have been hitting me up about what happened in New York last night. I think it was at LaGuardia. There was a regional jet that landed. Air traffic controller gave permission to a fire truck, the crash rescue vehicle, to cross the runway that the aircraft just landed on. They hit. There were fatalities. I'm getting in that tonight, guys. I'm going to definitely do that tonight around 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to break it all the way down. Videos are out. Correction, the audio is out. We're going to, kind of get into it, and I'll give you guys my opinion as to what happened. For those who don't know, I'm a retired FAA air traffic controller, well over 20 years in the business. And before that, I was in the United States Army as a air traffic controller, but I was a tactical air traffic controller. I was a paratrooper, so that job was a little different. I was the guy who jumped out of airplanes, and we fought our way to the airport or our target area, and then we did air traffic control stuff. So a little bit different, but I definitely know the world of ATC. And bottom line, nothing is supposed to ever happen on that runway. And when you're an air traffic controller, especially in a tower, nothing's supposed to hit on the runway. So we'll get into that tonight. If you guys are interested, it'll be around 8 p.m. or so Eastern Standard Time. I'll have the thumbnail and all that out here pretty soon. But let's get into this. So we're gonna watch a video. Created Players, shout out to him. Ronnie Betty is over on YouTube. His link in the description below. Please go over there and check him out. He does a really good job of breaking this thing down. This is part two. Part one was kind of the same, but part two has a little extra stuff on there. But we want to get in here. We want to talk about the Saint in the Center, and we want to also talk about Fresh and Fit, because that's what's going on here. The Saint in the Center is coming after Fresh and Fit after 7 years of friendship or whatever. So we're going to get into all that, guys. Why this is going on. Why do we continue to see this sort of thing? This is why Rich Cooper calls this space the Mano Swamp, because you see this sort of thing all the time. And I haven't spoken to anyone. You guys know, I've been around Fresh and Fit. I've even met Marquette, the Saint in the Center, once at Fresh and Fit studio. I was riding with Fresh. So, Fresh and I were on our way out. This was after Saint Center did an episode, and then we dropped him off and his assistant off at their hotel. And then Fresh and I went on to hit South Beach. So, I kind of, I've been to Fly on the Wall, kind of on the inside of this particular thing. So, I'm definitely going to give you my 2 cents as to what's going on right here. But we're going to use this video right here. And again, shout out to his brother. He does a really good job. You guys should definitely go over there and support what he has going on there. I'm even going to reach out to him at some point. I would love to interview the brother just to, hear his story and find out what's going on. He has around 4,000 subscribers. He's growing rapidly. So you know how it is in this business. You better get them, while they're still young. As far as in the business, get them when they're still fairly unknown, because once they become known, it becomes harder to lock them down. But let's check out what he's talking about here. And of course, I'll be stopping as we go through this. So yeah, let's get into it. Here we go.
Comments, because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. Now, we know how the Manosphere can be. It can be a little arrogant. That's what makes that Manosphere. But as I posted that video, a lot of comments were showing me a lot more things that I just didn't know. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing and commenting on it. I didn't know that was the tip of the iceberg, that people call it. The tip of the iceberg. But in this video, I got to go over a couple more things, because there's a couple things that I missed in the live videos against when he was exposing Fresh and Fit. And also, I got to show, because a lot of people's asking, well, what did Myron contradict himself on? I'm going to tell you both of those things. So if you stick with me, I promise you, this second one will be just as good as the first. So in this video, somebody asks, how did it all start? He's just telling them, how did Myron and Marquette initially meet? It was on a live because he was jumping at the time, right? Which is great for him, but seems like Myron was in his chat, just, watching his live, waiting to come up, probably new to the game. You know what I'm saying? And he titled this like, he started Fresh and Fit. He's the reason for Fresh and Fit. And then I got to address a lot of other people, because y'all was saying that, y'all was saying because Myron didn't make up these talking points and all that stuff, it doesn't belong to anybody. Well, if you use that same logic, Marquette must have got it from somewhere. You see what I'm saying? And when y'all was talking about the Cooley thing and all that, so that was just part of the comments, but I had to address that too, because y'all was talking about, yo, he didn't make this up, and those talking points he got it from Rolo Tomasi. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor, Kevin saying, shout out to all of them, man. It's the space that we in. So yes, I understand talking points will be the same, but to copy the exact show, do the exact same things, and the exact same just responses to certain questions, it's just clear imitation. And imitation is what they say, it's really flattery at the end of the day. Like, people are just, fascinated with how you move, so they have no choice but to copy you. There's nothing new under the sun, and I understand that. But he's saying, how did they meet? How did they meet? Let's get into it.
All right, that's a little bit there. So before we watch the video, and I haven't watched this entire video. I saw bits and pieces of part one. But I kind of wanted to not watch all of this particular part 2 video, because I want you guys to get the raw, uncut, unfiltered reaction. But Brother Ronnie makes a really good point when it comes to game, when it comes to this whole thing. Everyone got their game, their techniques, the way that they move from somewhere else. There's not many guys who just got themselves dumped off into the situation and then figured it out on their own. You read a book, or you talked to someone in the trenches, someone on the street, someone on the block, one of your homies, your uncle, your cousin, your dad. Somebody put you on game when it comes to talking women. And when you receive this information, sometimes it's, you get the beta, plugged in beta blue pill message. Sometimes you get the red pill message. Sometimes you get a more extreme pimping type message. But the game always filters from elsewhere, and then you kind of put your stamp on it. You use it accordingly. You get the understanding of how the game works, and then you modify it by using your own techniques and have it bring it to you. So by Marquette saying that I'm the one that created Fresh and Fit because I created Myron, because Myron is using my talking points, that sounds like marketing to me. That doesn't really, who says that? Who says that? Everyone knows, like, hey man, you're gonna get this. You got like Rolo Tomasi put out the Rational Males, a bunch of stuff in there. You got Mystery Method, who, you got the pickup artistries who they were doing their thing. That's where all these terms came from, with negging and all that kind of stuff. So, you got people like A Dose of Game, who I highly recommend y'all check out his channel, A Dose of Game on YouTube. And that's the brother who comes more of a pimp player type, this is how I move type thing, so everyone has their version. So what Myron is doing is the same thing that I did. It's the same thing anyone would do in this space. When you're getting started, you're learning the ropes. You got to jump on as many platforms as you can. If someone drops a link, you want to get on that panel. You want to get your name out there. Who put me on? Suzette Speaks put me on. Myron and Fresh put me on. Like Fresh and Fit. There's things that I learned. Fresh and Fit would give me shout outs on the show and tell people to come over and support and to subscribe. So, again, shout out to Myron and Fresh. Right. Back in the day, Suzette Speaks was the first person to actually put me on the panel. This is where I started to learn. And I would go on Suzette's show often. She would bring me on. She interviewed me. She did a couple shows with me. We would collab and do stuff. And then from that, I managed to jump on Melanie King's show. I jumped on there, had some great conversations, had some fun, and got some supporters over there. Was able to get some people who were willing to come in and allow me to interview them. So you continuously learning. Rich Cooper, same thing. I reached out to Rich Cooper I DM'd him after I bought his book. Yeah, I sent him a message on Instagram, say, "Hey, I bought your book. It's very good." He hit me back. He says, "Thank you." And he's like, "Hey, do me a favor and leave a comment on Amazon because that helps push the book." And I'm like, "No problem." So I did it. I even screenshot the comment that I sent and sent that to him so he can read it. And he was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And I said, "Hey, what would it take to get you on my platform? I'm new to the game." And he's like, "It has to make sense." He kept it 100. But on his platform, he drops the links and he allows people to come up and ask him questions and have conversations. So I jumped up on his platform. So if, let's say 6 months, a year from now, DL Saying I Really Want to Know podcast jumps off and becomes major, then who's responsible for putting DL Saying on? Would Myron and Fresh be able to say, "Hey, we created DL Saying"? Would Suzette Speaks be able to jump up and say, "No, I created DL Saying"? Would Melanie King or Rich Cooper be able to make that claim? Right? Black Man Unfiltered, shout out to him. Another platform where I would jump on and collab and whenever Black Man or anyone from that universe jumps on and asks me to help them out, I'll jump on there and get on a panel, do a show. We have so much fun over there. So in YouTube, you help one another. You help each other build. And then every now and then someone takes off. That happened with Kevin Samuels. That happened with Fresh and Fit. Whatever podcast, same thing happened to them. I mean, that's just how it goes. Right? So another one, Stay Slick with Kit over in UK, doing really good work. He's working with women, but it's the red pill message, even though he's not red pill. But the message is the message. And he's working with women, trying to help them get the desired results in dating and in long-term relationships that they want, right? Letting them know how to go get a top-tier man or a high-value man and why you're having trouble and whatnot. So for Saint the Center to come back and just say, "I'm the reason the Fresh and Fit exists," that's not right. In fact, I think it's Solo TV 84, if I'm not mistaken. That's the guy that actually put Myron and Fresh together. It's a dude that was on watching both of their platforms. It's like, "Hey, you're in Miami, Fresh, and then there's this guy named Myron. He's in Miami. He talks about girls. He out there hanging. Y'all should click. Y'all should click up. Y'all should talk." And they reached out to one another, Myron and Fresh, and they went out. Got to talking, and next thing you know, boom, the Fresh and Fit podcast was born. So if anything, it's going to be Solo TV 84 that can make that claim. Brother Jack Black in the building. What's happening? Yeah, appreciate that. Please don't be afraid to hit that like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. And I don't have my glasses on. What's this? Deframon, something like that. Saint come up to the panels to Myron. He couldn't influence him. Came up to the panels with Myron. He couldn't influence him. Okay. And my bad. Like I didn't bring my glasses up here with me, so I'm looking at everything's blurry and jumbly. So excuse me if I get your name or something wrong. We got man, What's happening? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yo, man, Drell, man, what's up, man? Looks like we gave a 48-hour ultimatum to Iran. That was 24 hours ago, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, we'll be talking about what's going on in the wars as well. So just remember, guys, tonight at 8 p.m., I'm going to be talking about the air traffic crash that happened in LaGuardia today. And then tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the war. But let's get back to so let's check it out. Saint is making a statement that he created Fresh and Fit.
There we go.
What was the thing that brought us into knowing one another, given that we are so very different? We look different, we dress differently, we're different ethnicities. We have different histories. Our advice is different. Notice I really enjoy history. I'm going to show you the first contact point that I ever had with Amru Fuddle, the guy who goes by a fake name that you know as Myron Gaines. This is me.
But it's kind of crazy because he went by a fake name, Saint and Sinner.
Fact, I go by DL Saint. My name is Don Lewis. Don Lewis, DL Saint. Saint is what they called me in basic training in the United States Army back in 1990. That was my nickname in basic training. It didn't stick throughout my military career, but they called me Saint in basic training. So I call myself DL Saint.
2 hours into a live session, letting fans come on to greet and give thanks and say whatever's on their mind. And I also want you guys to notice the nature, so humble, so much humility, just a whole different guy.
I'm a content creator myself, bro. Just want to come in and show some love and support, man. I know you're friends with my boy Lucario, so I have to come in and often. So, I just got to come in and show support, bro. That's really what it is, man. So it's cool that you're doing this. They'll bring the people on and talk with them and everything like that. So,
well, do forgive me for getting to you so late. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, bro. No, the other people waited their time, bro. I don't take offense at all to that, man.
Absolutely. What kind of content do you create?
I have a fitness channel, and I also teach guys about, that's why I found your stuff, because I was like, I have very similar views on dealing with chicks, bro. I'm here in Miami, so.
He has very similar views on dealing with chicks. Well, Marquette, why does he have very similar views to you, Marquette? That's because he learned from me. I was his teacher. That's why he has very similar views. In fact, if you
see what I'm saying, he learned from me, but who did Marquette learn from? So you can't take credit without giving homage to somebody else. You see how that worked? It's always a contradiction. It's always, oh, I did this for you. I was your teacher. Who was your teacher? You didn't have no teacher. It must have just came to you from heaven above and just laid upon your lap, and you was just gained with this knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And Myron's telling him right now, listen, I'm in the same field. I do content. You see, he got look at the mic he got, look at the setup, the lights. He's already trying to get into the space. So what you do in this period is you learn and you watch people and you learn from them. Marquette, he speaks well. Okay, so let me watch and learn how to speak a little well, see how I need to carry myself. But y'all saying Myron got his talking points from other people, which I'm sure Myron is probably admitted to. And just by him saying the connection is you're good friends with one of my friends. So that's why I'm watching you. And yes, I'm sticking around to get up. I've been, when you're low and you just getting started out, yes, you want to be seen on panels that are bigger than you. That's just part of the game. It's not, oh, I'm trying to take everything you doing. And that don't necessarily mean, that I'm trying to be a clone of you. No, that's what great people do. They see something that works, that's working, and they adjust it and make it theirs, and they use it because, like you said, everything is recycled. Nothing we are seeing is original. You know what I mean? It's all a remix of something. And that's the only way as time goes on for we to learn, trial and error, between different people. And over time, you're going to see people like the next person that's going to come is going to learn from Saint, going to learn from Myron, going to learn from whoever, and they're going to create a better show. And that's just how it go. And it's terrible for people to look down at those people and be like, you learned from me, so you should text me back. You should, and that's the thing. Come on, man. They get demonetized. You give them $30,000. What? So they owe you now? You know what I mean? You're indebted. They should owe you a favor. They should be thankful for you. That's what I say. It's all BS, man. It's all BS, and it's clear as day. But we're gonna keep going.
Listen closely.
Now, everything that was said right there, everything that Brother Ronnie said is true. Now, he mentioned the, not returning the text. Apparently, all this stems from Marquette, Saint and Sinner, not having the type of access to Myron and Fresh that he wanted. In other words, he was sending messages to Myron. Myron wouldn't respond to him. Send messages to Fresh. Fresh wouldn't respond to him. Now, as a person who was in that circle for a minute, I was in that inner circle with Myron and Fresh. I was one of the people that they wanted to hear from. I had to tell you, and I talked about this when we did that Castle Club, the breakdown on the Castle Club, when I talked about what happened with the Castle Club. I brought this up then. Myron and Fresh are real busy. And the success that they have experienced truly came from out of nowhere. Just bam, they literally woke up one day and was like, what the hell? And I believe that Myron and Fresh would benefit greatly if they had a personal assistant, like one personal assistant that they shared that can kind of keep their calendar, keep their, someone you could talk to remind them of, I have, we're going to go do this thing over here. We're going to do this thing over there. I got to call this person at this time, this person at that time. Just someone who can keep in touch with folks. In other words, and this wouldn't have helped this situation because, someone like Marquette would have been put off that, oh, I'm only talking to your assistant. I can't talk to you. He'd have been mad about that. Right. It just, some people are a little sensitive when it comes to that. They're like, man, I'm better than that. We better than that. You should better talk to me. And I get it. If that's where you coming from with it, okay, I get it. You feel me? But you got to be realistic. And again, at one point, I was one of the people in that, you know, not the inner circle, but I was one of those people that I had no problem getting access to Myron Fresh. Now, sometimes it would take a few days, especially with Myron. You could send Myron a message, and it would take Myron 3-4 days, maybe a week to hit you back. And there's a few reasons for that. You know, some people say that's not professional. Okay, well, if you want to say that, but that's how dude is. Like, he's up all night. He's not up doing regular business hours, right? That dude, he don't keep banker's hours. He's up all night. He's working out in the middle of the night. He's doing his content in the middle of the night. That's just, it's one of those things. If I remember going into the studio, you know, the show's about to start around 7-8 p.m. now, you know, and Myron's just waking up. You know, everyone's setting up, getting ready for the show. So that's one thing. Fresh is a networker at his core. So dude's gonna hit you back. It's not gonna take him long to hit you back. I mean, here recently, Fresh had some sort of thing where he had to go to the hospital with something going on. I saw that. That was cause for concern with me. I spent a lot of time with Fresh. I was in them trenches with Fresh, in the streets with Fresh. Like, Walt's a good guy. Like, I know he's handled some things maybe wrong, or he's been accused of doing stuff and he looks kind of wild, but at his core, man, Walt's a good guy. Myron's a good guy. He just says wild shit, but at his core, he's very respectful, right? But me and Fresh were out there in those streets. So when I saw pictures of him in the hospital and the things that he was saying, I reached out to him just to let him know, like, hey, man, hang in there. I some words of encouragement just to let him know, like, bro, you know, you good people, man. I don't want to say anything bad to you, man. Take care of yourself type stuff. He hit me back immediately. I sent the message. He hit me back within a few hours. So Fresh is a networker, and he will hit you back. So all this thing seemed to stem from the fact that Marquette, the Saint Center, was sending messages to Myron and Fresh, and Myron and Fresh were either not getting back to him fast enough or not getting back to him at all. And so you got to go back and watch part 1 of Creative Players, and they go over that. And it's like some of the questions, like Marquette to send a message, I'm looking at the message that Marquette holds up, and I'm like, does that even require a response? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you, in your mind, you think, oh, someone's going to respond to this message the way I text. You got to look at that text like, does that really require a response? And then to think about the $30,000, I'm not quite sure how that went down. Allegedly, when Myron first got demonetized, Saint Center said, hey, I'm going to give you $30,000 out of my pocket. But if you go back and listen to what he said exactly, it seems to me that maybe he gave them an opportunity to make 30 grand or something like that. Like, hey, let me show you how to get this money, as opposed to here is the money. Again, I don't know. I didn't really delve into it. But even if you decided to just reach out, and according to Marquette, according to Saint Center himself, he said, hey, man, I see you guys have been demonetized. Let me send you $30,000. If that's the case, all right, cool, thanks. But that doesn't guarantee you anything. And some people do this sort of stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm buying access. I'm buying myself. I'm buying my way into the inner sanctum. It doesn't always work that way. You know, if you want to buy your way in, you might have to have a sit down and say, hey, and it's going to probably be, you're going to have to put some more zeros behind it, trying to buy your way into that operation. Like, love them or hate them, doesn't matter. The Fresh and Fit platform is still a major platform, and they have influence. Myron and Fresh can pick up the phone and get certainly anyone in the red pill space, anyone in the Mano Swamp. They can get them on the phone. You're talking Michael Certain, Rollo Tomasi, Rich Cooper, the Tate brothers. You name the person, Robert Kiyosaki, Patrick Bet David, George Gammon. If you think of any of the big names, Dr. Orion Terabane, James Sexton, Myron and Fresh can pull out their phone and get those people to respond right away. That's access. That's access. Marquette, the Saint Center, can't do that. He just, and not at this time, he just can't do that. He hasn't gotten to the point where he's big enough in that space to pull that. Right. And it's Just got to keep working. It ain't a big thing. You just got to keep working. Right? So that's where we are right now. Let's keep going.
You can hear my words coming out of his mouth, yet he never quotes me. It's very strange. In fact, there have been many times on Twitter that people would forward a tweet to me and he would quote me verbatim, but never acknowledge it. And people were in the comments saying, Marquette said that. Why are you pretending as though you said that? Come on now. Come on now. So you heard.
It's really feeling itself, man.
I've told the story before.
Now, this is another one that I seen. Walter reached out, big fan, been watching religiously, starting a pod. How can we get you as a guest? I guaranteed you, listen, when people send these messages out in your DMs, they could watch your show 1 or 2 times, and they're going to send a message like, hey, I watch you all the time, this, that, how can I get you on a pod? Why? Because they are looking to grow their channel. Now, you think that he only sent that out to you and you specifically? I'm sorry, he sent that out to everybody. Everybody, whoever was in that spirited time that could help them grow, they probably sent that out to everybody. And no telling if it's genuine or not. You know what I mean? So that was just that part of it. But I just had to really hop on that because he's like, he's the reason that Fresh and Fit exists. And I'm like, there it goes again, bro. The delusional, the delusional claim, you know, and it's such a reach. And I think that's where the disconnect is when it comes to authenticity from Saint Center. And then I thought I was the only one. I know he used to delete my comments. I noticed that when I debated him last time, right? He used my face, he used my image and all that stuff to post I destroyed this Candace Owens, blah, 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 or whatever. And I'm like, bruh, okay, cool. You can use it. I know you was going to do it. This is me. Y'all come rock with me. This is my channel. This is me on the video. Bro's like deleting the comment. He don't want them to find out that it's me. I said, okay. So now I had to do a reaction video. And I'm like, that's weak, bro. That's super weak. So that's when I kind of was like, okay, it is true. People in the comments saying he's somebody who deletes comments. He's somebody that if you call him out and oh man, this thing gets way worse. Watch.
Now, I don't delete comments over here, guys, to be honest with you. You have to, if I delete a comment, then I'm worried about YouTube shutting me down or ending the stream or something like that. But YouTube deletes those comments. You don't believe me? Ask Cody is king. Me and Cody talk all the time. I'm like, yo, YouTube will delete some of my comments. I'm like, bro, this is my platform. And it's not even risky like that, but I don't delete comments. If you say something in the chat, man, I'm gonna leave it in the chat. It is what it is. Like, delete this comment. I'm gonna show it. There it is. It's also in the little running chat there. I'm not gonna delete no comments, man. That's hilarious though. But I don't delete comments. It is what it is. I don't debate either. I like to have open conversations. People like, oh, let's debate. Like, man, I just want to talk, man. Let's get to know one another. I'll tell you where I stand on this point. You can tell me where you stand on that point. Hopefully we can find some place in the middle to meet, or we can agree to disagree, but there's no need to be on all this extra stuff. But the extra stuff gets you clicks. And the Saint Center wants to get his name out there. He wants people talking about him, right? And that's exactly what's going on. You can go after one of the bigs, go after Fresh and Fit, and people are going to talk about it. You can go after Rich Cooper. People are going to talk about it. Go after Andrew Wilson. People are going to talk about it. My biggest video in the past month is a video I did, a live we did talking about Andrew Wilson when he was on Valuetainment, Patrick Bet Davis podcast. That thing did over 1,000 views. That's big for my platform. Normally anything under, I shoot for, I like to get 100 views. It's like, it'll be nice to get a couple hundred. It'll be nice to get 10% of my subscriber base on every view, but it's hard. Some videos get 30 views. Some videos, I got videos that got over 7,000 views. Not many. But you're just slowly working your way into the space. You're trying to hopefully get the algorithm to push you. You hope you don't get shadow banned. There's all kind of stuff. But I think that the deal is Marquette, in my opinion, was trying to leverage himself to get into a position where Myron and Fresh would be able to co-sign for him and get the big interviews, because it doesn't look like the Saint Center could pull those interviews on his own. Saint Center is big in his space where he is. He has a huge following. He does big numbers where he is, but it seems like he's hit that glass ceiling. Whereas Myron and Fresh just blew right through that, blew right past him. And that's how it goes sometimes. And this is where networking comes in. You want to network. You want to keep you a good relationship. Just thinking about it. Like, we had the hiccup. This platform, DL Saint and Fresh and Fit, had a hiccup with the Castle Club thing. Right? It is what it is. All that information got put out there. It is what it is. But I can still reach out to Myron. I can still reach out to Fresh, and they'll still take my call. Right? So if it came down to that, if something came up and boom, if one of them hit me up and say, hey, this is air traffic control thing, can you answer this question for me? I'll do it. And I'm not going to ask for anything in return. It's a legit relationship there. I think the thing with Marquette is he might have trouble having legit relationship because people probably sense right away, like, oh, this dude is just about the come up. He's trying to use me, which is fine. Everyone's using everyone else, but it's how you present yourself. Right? You got to be willing to throw your body on that barbed wire and let the next 5 men walk over you. Right? You got to be willing to do that. And just like they got to be willing to throw themselves down over that barbed wire so you can walk over them. Some people aren't willing to do that, and they still want all the access. So we're about to watch a clip of Marquette in Romania trying to get access to the Tate brothers. Mind you, Myron and Fresh could have made this happen for him. Why didn't Myron, why couldn't he get the access? Let's check this out.
Now, this is a video that y'all said in the comments. I mean, I probably seen it over 100 times. They talking about him going to Andrew Tate's castle or whatever house, trying to surprise him with chocolates, and like
this is a clip
just turned out
where
to
the
be
YouTuber,
I never knew he
the
did
Saint
this.
in the Sinner, makes a surprise visit to Andrew Tate's house in Romania. Let's see.
This is what y'all was talking about.
So somebody can check and tell me when he pressed. Okay, press somebody works.
This is some fan act. This is some sassy activity. I'm showing up to Tate's house with some chocolates, filming himself on camera. I just watched somebody send me a documentary to watch on this thing, man.
There's coming. People are coming.
So that's Tate's house, the security parts. I mean, it looks like he was not invited by Andrew Tate's security guard. I mean, why did he think it was a good idea? Isn't Andrew Tate under house arrest? So he can't just pull up outside of the house. In addition, I'm guessing it's, he...
And I mean, to tell you the truth, it just looks nerdy. Like, it ain't confident at all, Head down, looking in the phone. You're not standing up, standing proud, smiling like, hey, I'm here. Like, come on, like, inviting yet. Why is your head down when people trying to identify you when you ring it on their door randomly? Like, I'm just keeping it real. This is lame.
Someone
Then
is
you get
coming,
turned
Daniel.
away and you done.
There's coming. People are coming.
And I've heard what a lot of other people said. His assistant is just his girlfriend. This is his assistant. It's really his girl. You know what I mean?
Tate's house, the security parts.
Look, beat it. Knock it off. Stop it.
Knock it off.
Beat it. Get out of here.
So what was the point of doing that? Right? What was the point of doing that? It's content. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe the Tates will talk to you, let you in the house. I mean, I wouldn't. If you roll up to the crib, nah, man, I'm not doing that. And here's the thing. Here's the thing to keep in mind. I met Andrew Tate. Right? Had a quick conversation with him. Sat in a room for hours with the man. Right? Where was I? I was in the studio. I was in the studio, Fresh and Fit. I was in the studio. Right? Bumped into Tate a couple times. I believe it was 2 times. 1 or 2 times. But the first time I met Tate, Myron and Fresh introduced me. Hey, this is the homie right here. This is DL Saint. Yo, Saint, that's Andrew Tate. I introduced myself. How you doing, brother Don Lewis? You know what I mean? I listened to your words, bro. I said we exchanged words. I paid him a compliment. He immediately invited me out. Like, yo, let's get some tea or something. Right now, y'all say, why would he ask you to go get some tea? Well, he's British. He's American, but he's raised in Britain, and tea is the thing. It's like, but what did he mean? It's like, let's get coffee, let's get drinks. That's basically what he was saying. Very respectful dude. You know what I'm saying? When once the camera was off, I mean, it wasn't none of that top G energy. Y'all gotta understand, man. On camera is one persona, off camera is another one. Off camera is another one. Like now with the Saint in the center, what you see on camera is exactly what you see off camera. It might be, he might edge it up a couple notches off camera. That's dude. That's him. That's Marquette. That's the Saint in the center, man. Like that is who he is on and off camera. How do I know? Met this dude, and like I said, in Fresh's car. Like he was at the studio. I was in studio. Me and Fresh took him and his assistant, his girl, whatever. Dropped him off, and then we moved on. Me and Fresh went to do what we had to go do. We was on our way to Vendome. I think it was Vendome and a couple other spots. Right. So a lot of people they might meet Marquette, and that they're not necessarily cool with the person they're dealing with. Am I saying that he's a bad person? He's evil. He's vindictive. No, I'm not saying any of that. Am I saying he's sassy? No, I'm not saying that either. No, he had a dime with him. Like you could tell, dude know how to talk to women. Marquette was at the 500,000 subscriber party? Was that a million party? I can't remember, but it was a big party. And matter of fact, it was the same weekend. That's why Fresh and I were going to Vendome to lock down the venue for the big party that was coming up. And Marquette was there. Right. So you got to understand how this works. Right. And again, I'm not talking anything negative, but if people don't particularly like you, if they're not feeling you, they're not going to work with you. Myron and Fresh stood by him for 7 years. The fact that you're in Romania and Myron and Fresh didn't help you at least get a conversation with the Tate boys, that tells me something. Maybe Myron and Fresh gave him the number to, Tristan or Andrew Tate, and Marquette reached out and they didn't like what they heard. I don't know. But I definitely want to pull up to the crib unannounced, not like that. If anything, catch them when they're out and about doing their thing, but the Tates might have been under house arrest. I mean, there's so many things going on. Ain't no telling, bro. Ain't no telling, but that was a bad look. That might have been great for content, I guess. But again, it didn't age well at all, right? It didn't age well at all. Let me see. Here we go here. Legend, I tried to get Marquette and his, man, hold on. I got to go get my glasses. I tried to get into Marquette and his content because I found him through Fresh and Fit. He's a smart brother. I will give him that, but something is off about him. This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about. In Hollywood, this happens all the time. In Hollywood, if people get the wrong take on you, bro, you're not getting any work. They're just not going to rock with you unless you got a one hell of an agent. They're just not going to rock with you. Like Be Fair chocolates are really good and good for you. Benson Blunt, bro, you funny. You funny, man. That's funny. But I understand why you would want to meet the Tates, but I don't. If I'm sitting in a room and we're trying to figure out a way to meet Andrew and Tristan Tate, the last thing I'm going to sign off on is, well, let's just pull up at his place. Not doing that. Cameras and everything. I'm not doing that. I would say, hey, let's hit up Myron and Fresh, see if they can't plug us in. If that doesn't work, hey, let's join the war room for 1 month. Like to get in here, maybe talk to Tate. If that doesn't work, hey, let's hit him up on Manette. It's just, don't be afraid to invest a little bit of money. Obviously, Marquette is not afraid to do that. He's not afraid to invest money. Just find a way that's going to work so you actually get to talk to the man. And here's the thing. Even when you talk to him, he might just kind of blow you off nicely. Pause. He might just be like, yo, yeah, let's get together, man. How your people call my people type thing. Right? There are many ways to do it. Invite him to dinner. Invite him to an event. But just don't pull up to the crib, bro. That's just crazy, man. DMAC 50 if you're saying Fresh and Fit or stand-up guys, then why did they turn around and dog out Kevin Samuels? KS gave them the clout by appearing on the show. That's a good point there. I never got a chance to meet Kevin Samuels, but I was there, and we did talk about Kevin Samuels' name came up, and conversation was had. And I can tell you this: whatever went down with Kevin Samuels and Myron, and Fresh with the platform, but mostly Myron did regret it. And I can tell you this, bro, it's just real talk. When Myron found out that Kevin died, that bothered him, and it still does. Well, at least I can't say now, but when I was rocking with them, that came up a lot, right? Myron would say, like, man, he really regret that he didn't get the opportunity to make things right with Kevin Samuels. So take that for what it's worth, but you got a good point. And we want to talk about someone who really put the Fresh and Fit platform on. I think the first viral moment came when they had Kevin Samuels on the platform. Again, why was Kevin Samuels there? Because Myron and Fresh was doing something at the time that no one else was doing. They were doing panels, but in real life. Everyone was doing panels, and you have women on the panels and all this kind of stuff, people screaming and one mic, we can't hear you. They were doing it live, sat at a table with women. And remember the early years of Fresh and Fit, they had good conversations. They really did have good conversations. You had people like, Bianca and Nita the Pineapple. You had Slow Jams. You had, before Icy was working with Fresh and Fit, she came on the platform. And there were, dozens and dozens of good conversations had. The after hours show turned, from my take on it, after a while, the after hours take, let me get my thoughts right. My take on after hours after a while was that it wasn't worth watching. When they began to bring in the Instagram girls, the 304s, the thoughts, where they brought out, when they started just bringing in random women who were there to, like, their OF girls or whatever, and no shade to these women, but the conversation went away. These girls weren't there to have a conversation. These girls were there to promote themselves, to get more guys to show up, to, get more dudes in their funnel. And it worked. These women, they showed up. All the information was there. Guys could click on it or whatever and have conversations with these girls. And the girls would, push them to their funnels, wherever their funnels were. It worked. But after a certain time, like now, I can't even watch it. Back in the day, though, I was there. Every after hours I was watching. It was good stuff. Yeah, you had the occasional Frank Castle or whatever, because you get a girl in there who was just too wild. But what Fresh and Myron were doing hadn't been done yet. It hadn't been done before. Right? Kevin Samuels saw that, and he came in. He's like, man, these dudes are getting a lot of pull. As a matter of fact, their drama, their friction between Kevin Samuels and the Fresh and Fit platform had to do with the overlap that they had in their subscriber base. Right? All the guys who were watching Kevin Samuels were also watching Fresh and Fit. And Fresh and Fit was the hot new thing, right? So Fresh and Fit would go live. Kevin Samuels would notice that people were leaving his live to go to watch Myron and Fresh, especially with the after hours. Not so much with the early shows, because Kevin Samuels wasn't on when they did their early shows. Like the Money Mondays, the Womanizer Wednesdays, or whatever. They would bring people on and talk about, how to make money, how to buy real estate, whatever. But the late shows, the after hours, Myron and Fresh were notoriously late, starting their shows, right? It was like a running joke. And what it was behind the scene was Kevin Samuels asking them to start later so he can finish his stream. Allegedly, that's what was going on. And Myron and Fresh sat back and was doing it. They were doing it. They were doing everything they could to help Kevin Samuels, because they didn't want drama. They were appreciative of Kevin coming to their platform and doing, giving them their first viral moment and, getting their growth going. So they would sit back and they were doing their best to accommodate, until one day they just didn't do it anymore. And then there was things said, Kevin is talking trash about Fresh and Fit, or Fresh and Fit is talking trash about Kevin Samuels. That thing happened. And then there was a rift. And then we lost Kevin Samuels. And like I said, Myron was very, very upset about that. He really wanted to make things right with Kevin Samuels, and he didn't get the opportunity. I know for a fact that hit him hard, right? I know for a fact that hit him hard. So again, we're talking about Kevin Samuels, we're talking about the Tate boys, we're talking about everybody but Saint the Sinner. Saint the Sinner didn't have any viral moments like that. Saint the Sinner wasn't instrumental in propelling Fresh and Fit to, you know, where they were, right? Kevin Samuels was. Andrew Tate was. Y'all remember that Andrew Tate video, that first video he did, Depression Ain't Real? Mega viral. Right? So let's continue.
In
It's
the
like he
car,
was
drive
not
off,
invited
bro. It
by-
ain't happening today. Eat your chocolates on the way home, like for real. No, I just want to see what he says after this. After you do such an attempt like this.
Pacific.
Somebody put they scrambled the signal. That's funny.
What?
Somebody in the chat put they scrambled the signal.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's what I.
That's what you thought too? You think they're in there to scramble Wi-Fi signals?
No.
That's amazing. Y'all are creepy as hell.
Speak.
Listen, I done seen this documentary. I'm gonna pull it up about the apps, the they created the Fletch, the Why Not. I had to look at. I was like, oh my gosh. So I did some research myself, and I'm looking. I'm like, hold up, it might be a whole sham, bro. This whole persona on the internet, it might be a complete sham, like complete sham, like not really selling the company for millions because the app. Well, I'm looking, it looked like it was because around that time, apps were like the cool thing to do, right? iPhones coming out. So you create an app and it not necessarily not even work. Like even the speeches in China and all that stuff to try to get investors. There's no proof that he actually secured them investors. I'm looking at the video and I'm like, them Chinese folks looking at him like, bruh, stop it. Like, stop. That's what they like, come on. Who's giving them an app to share Wi-Fi? Like, I just couldn't understand it. And then the page only had like less than 100 likes. It looked like it was completely unsuccessful. That one and Fletch, no proof of none of this stuff. And then they made other points. If you are a millionaire, all this money, why are you on YouTube every day? Why? They demonetize you. You're mad about that. Why are you texting him like, hey, how you got demonetized? Not after he didn't even respond. All this stuff you already think is shaky. Now it's, hey, you got demonetized. Do you have any advice for me? And I didn't notice that. He's like, but I never asked him for nothing. Then he said he texted him and asked him for advice. How do you never ask for nothing, but you ask him for advice?
Again, brother Ronnie, man, he's on point. Sister Ross is in the building. What's good, sis? How you feeling? So glad you could come in. Appreciate you stopping by. But he's got a great point. Guys, I'm in my mid-50s. I'm an old dude. I've been networking my ass off since I was 18 years old. I mean, networking is a very powerful tool. For me, it's probably the most powerful tool in my personal arsenal is networking. Everyone has different tools and you know, different tools work differently for other people. Like networking is my superpower. It might not be yours. Sales might be your superpower. Or just being the number two might be your superpower. Like something like an Adam Sosnick is Patrick Bet Davis number two. That's Adam's superpower, right? So I know a lot of wealthy folks. I know a lot of 1%ers, true 1%ers. Like I've been on people's private jets. I've been on their yachts. I've been in their mansions. I've been in their penthouses. Like I've been fortunate enough to network myself into these situations. And one thing I want to say about the 1%, especially like the high earners, like when you start getting into the top 9% of earner, they do not have time to do this. YouTube takes a lot of time. The 1%ers, the rich people, they don't have the time to do this kind of stuff. They have money. They have tons of money, but they have a little bit of time. So if you can get a true 1%er to sit down and let you interview them, like, bro, that's a power move. Marquez says that, you know, he's this massive CEO type doing all this stuff. Very well spoken, brother. He's doing well from, so he's doing his thing. All I have to say to that is this. I know CEOs, COOs, CFOs. I know VPs, right? I know regional VPs of Fortune 100, Fortune 200 businesses. These people are working too hard to sit down and do a live YouTube stream for 3 hours. They can't do it. You're talking about people who get paid thousands of dollars per hour. Why would they give up $3,000 to do a YouTube stream? right? And they don't even know about monetization. This isn't their world. And I've had a couple people, agree to let me interview them. And bro, I'm telling you, like, man, it might cost me dinner. And people like, oh man, just take them to dinner. Like, bro, we ain't going to Pizza Hut, man. We ain't going, to BW3s for some wings. If I gotta take this dude to dinner, man, it's gonna cost me almost $1,000. If they want to, like they'll take it easy on you. These are people to get $400 bottle of wine, get 2 of those. You know what I mean? You got people who are like, they order stuff that ain't even on the menu. And you going into one of the best restaurants in town. It ain't nothing for them to go and spend $800 on themselves for dinner, and they eat out every day. These are people who are making millions of dollars a year in salary plus bonuses. None of these people are doing YouTube channels. I get one exception, Professor Scott Galloway. And he's doing it because he's promoting his books. He's doing other things, right? He's this has become his business. He's looking at his business model. He's trying to get into it. You look at Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David was making big money, but he made his money doing his insurance thing, whatever that was. And he took that money and he rolled it into Valuetainment. So Valuetainment is his business. This is why Patrick Bet-David is on every single day doing live content. This is why he's doing pre-recorded stuff. This is why he's selling merch like crazy. This is why he does the vault. That is his business, and it's a multi-million-dollar business. Right. And it's hard to get Patrick Bet-David. It's hard to get PBD on your schedule to sit down and talk to him. You can make it happen, but it takes work. Again, another person I've been able to meet, shout out to PBD and the whole team. But when Marquette says the stuff that he says about the CEO stuff and the businessman and all that, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Do I believe that the brother is smart enough to hold that type of position? Yes. Do I believe the brother could start a business and be successful? Yes. Look at his YouTube. It's successful. But do I believe that he is a mover and shaker, one of the top tier business people out there right now? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And yeah, someone made a comment about Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp, it was referenced the fallout with Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels. Donovan Sharp did a really good video. He broke all that down. Definitely go check it out. I even reacted to that video when Donovan Sharp put that out. It's a really good video. Appreciate that, brother. Go check that out. But yeah, man, YouTube takes a lot of time. You don't make a whole lot of money on YouTube. Myron and Fresh at their peak allegedly were bringing in just in super chats somewhere in the neighborhood of $150,000 a month, just in super chats. Like Myron and Fresh became extremely profitable and extremely successful in a very short period of time. They didn't get the opportunity to plan for that level of success. No one does. I mean, and they're younger guys. Like if I woke up tomorrow and this platform was bringing in $150,000 a month, yeah, I could handle that. But boy, I will go out and get a team immediately. I will be talking to my accountant immediately. I would go out. I would be talking to my 1%er friends. What do I do with this money? How do I structure this? I have an idea. There's a difference between theory and application. I need to talk to people who actually do this. Show them what I'm doing, and then they will bring in very serious-minded people, and then we figure out what we're going to do. Myron and Fresh just kind of sat there and was like, holy shit. What did Fresh do? He went out and started getting mad cars, clothes, got an upgrade in life. What did Myron start? What did Myron do? Myron went out and started buying property. But you could tell it was all seat of the pants type shit, which is great. And at least they were sharing their stories along the way and telling people, hey, I just bought my property. This is how you do it. Fresh are talking about, hey, man, I just bought this car. I leased this exotic. This is how you do it. This is what you need to look out for. Bringing people on the platform to talk about timepieces and how to make money. And the more I think about it, like Marquez saying that he is responsible for Fresh and Fit, he made Myron gains. No, if anyone can make that claim besides Lucario, because Myron said Lucario is my homeboy, so I'm pretty sure Myron heard a lot of gains from Lucario, but it would be Brandon Carter. You know what I mean? King Keto. Brandon Carter, who Myron calls his mentor. If anyone could claim that they're the reason Myron is successful, I would have to argue will be Brandon Carter. And Brandon Carter ain't saying that. He's just like, yo, Myron doing this thing. I'm glad I was able to help him. This is the humility that you need to be successful, especially in this business. You got to be humble, right? Juxtapose that to what Marquette's doing and how Marquette is talking and moving. Who would you, if you had an opportunity to sit down with one person, who would you sit down with? Would you sit down with Marquette? Would you sit down with Brandon Carter? Would you sit down with Marquette or would you sit down with Myron Gaines? That's a tough one for a lot of people. They're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Can you give me another option? Would you sit down with Marquette or would you sit down with Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate? You want to be the person that people want to sit down and talk to. You want to be the person that people look forward to seeing. When you pull up, they see you and they just start smiling. That's what you want to be. You don't want to be the person that when they see you, they're kind of like, ah, shit, what's this guy want? When they see you, it's like, ah, man, this might get messy tonight. This dude right here. Like, you don't want to be that guy. Let's continue.
Makes no sense to me at all. It was just a big red flag and just more hypocrisy. You know what I mean? Like it's all over the place with this guy. It's all over the place. But let's continue. And this guy, Aaron the plumber, right? He with him. This was like when he was going on his run. You know, with his own bash Aaron Plumber. Now then they turned out 100K. Turn down 100K. That's what this video says. Now, if it's true, cool. If it's not, y'all gonna let me know in the comments. I'm sure of it.
Keep going. If guys can't hear it, then you guys make sure that you put
listen to
a 2 in the chat. If his vocals are messed up, put.
Yeah. So he tried to book me after Pop the Balloon, and I think I was charging like $3,500 or something. Effect. He's like, "Got you. You know, book you. I'll put you in a hotel." He was trying to get on or something, and never heard from him. So, while they was airing the episodes, and I tell him, 5,000, and he unsends his messages, and then the next day, this pussy goes on the internet on YouTube, and he's just talking crazy, But he's just definitely attention seeking, and he ain't trying to meet up. He ain't trying to squabble. That dude, he's a buster. He's the lamest dude on the internet. I don't really understand how he has a platform. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, we offered him, we offered him 50,000 as well. I mean, he stole some money from Millionaire Bachelor, telling everybody that he robbed Millionaire Bachelor. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's set it up. What's going on? What's going on now? So I want you to tell us what this one of the last screenshots you sent me.
See, my question is, why is it all these people on the internet that have proof and facts that you are not who you say you are and you don't do what you say you're going to do? You feel what I'm saying? Like Aaron, he's a boxer. He's not going to turn down no fade. He's turned down 0. And then they said, I was going to even box for money and you actually turned it down. That's a rant for me, man. That breaks my heart. I'm thinking, bro, he got the boxing behind. Why wouldn't he box out? Why wouldn't he get in the ring and, show Aaron the plumber who he is? He's such a stud. He's such a fucking stud, right? He's just a tough guy. Why wouldn't you knock out Aaron the plumber? When you get your chance? I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But the Candace Owens thing, that's another one that bothered me. Now I'm not really trying to play all of them, but I'm like, if you can see is Candace Owens conspiracy. This 5 years ago. So y'all know this guy, right? If he still has that look. I think this was the day I was debating him. Yeah, because this dude was debating him too. Like, and this is the y'all know this guy. Y'all didn't see it. Like, that's the one when we was debating.
She never organized.
And I mean, I'm cooking him the whole time. Like, he keeps changing the goalposts and doing this. I mean, now academics. You got to ask yourself, why does somebody always try to beef with the most popular? Like, what is their purpose? There's no connection, but you're always trying to beef with them, man. But for a second, we'll
I'm going to enjoy this conversation
and let me get to my.
So all those breaks you heard in there wasn't me. That was the brother Ronnie. That was his audio in the background. This is Shaw's in the building. What's happening, fam? Good to see you. Hey, make sure you guys go and check out This Is Shaw. Like, you want to talk about one of the brothers. Like, I talk about this all the time. Like, the Mano Swamp, the Red Pill world is shifting. It is definitely mainstream now. It's not going mainstream anymore. It's mainstream. Like, you see what happened with the Netflix special, Louis Theroux documentary, right? You got mainstream people talking about it. It's a thing now. I think that this show is going to be one of the busting out of there for guys who really need to learn what the family law system has in store for you if you're not prepared. So make sure you go over there and check out this show, man. The brother's doing great things over there. So appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're here. Cody's Kings of the building. What's up, man? And yeah, it's not like, so we all are scammers. You can be in this field. It's real easy to be a scammer. A lot of people say that Myron and Fresh are scammers. They're real bad at it if they're scammers. Myron and Fresh had opportunities to make tons and tons of money just in advertising, gambling. So many, organizations were approaching Fresh and Fit, wanting them to just advertise their gambling, and Myron and Fresh said no. There's a bunch of people who went after Fresh and Fit in their prime before they got demonetized and wanted them to push certain products, and Myron and Fresh said no. Myron and Fresh said no to a lot of money schemes, and I don't mean scheme in a negative term. Like if anyone ever went to one of Myron, like Fresh and Fit's parties, people will look at the general admission cost and like, oh my God, I can't believe they're charging that much. It's like, bro, people are buying it. Like you can go to a Fresh and Fit event. The cheapest ticket might be $300. And then you got to get to Miami and get a hotel and all that. And dudes were showing up and they were spending the money. And guess what, man? These dudes were happy. I went to the vast majority of every big event Myron and Fresh had when I was in the mix, I went to. And Myron and Fresh did everything they could to ensure that the people who came to these events got their money's worth, got a good time. I didn't hear too many people complaining. Were there people complaining? Yes. But these are the people who are going to always complain. These are the people that complain. You give them some free Foxy Brown, man. I'm going to let you go smash that girl over there free, man. Go ahead. He'll come back complaining about that. Like, bro, some people you just can't make happy. Right? But they got a lot of money. They turned down a lot of ways to make money. People would come. Myron and Fresh did a thing when they went to Dallas. This was early in the Fresh and Fit blow up. Like this is when they first got big. Went to Dallas. I was down there. It was a contest. The people who won came out of Dallas. Myron and Fresh came to Dallas, and they wouldn't allow the Dallas cats to pay for anything. Myron and Fresh was going out to the club, going out to the lounge, going out to the restaurant. Myron and Fresh was paying for everything. Right? The only drama that weekend was when one of the homies paid for dinner at one of the spots. Man, Myron and Fresh was so mad. They're like, nah, man, you gotta let us do this for you, man. We paying for this, man. We taking care of this. It was a good time. So if they were truly scammers, man, they did a bad job scamming. They left a lot of money on the table. But I get your point, though. Like you, JMD 32, 36, there are a lot of scammers in the space. And I get your point. Someone look at me like, bro, you a scammer? I'm like, not really. If you come to me and you pay me for something, if you come to one of my comedy shows or you want to pay for my coaching services, hey, bro, it's hard for me to scam you. You give me the money and we go out. Like, it's simple as that. I'm going to show you what's going on. This is how I do it. Did you see that? Did you see this? Let's talk about your outfit. Coaching is coaching. Right? So it's like, man, are you scamming? I'm like, no. I mean, this is still, business is business. People do pay attention when they pay versus you giving it to them for free. Like the game is to be sold, not told. And I've tried to give away as much game as I can. People don't want to pay attention to you, but when you charge them, now it has value to them. But are there scammers out there? Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Tons and tons of scammers. Yeah, that comment right there about Tony Sotomayor. I met Tommy Sotomayor a couple times. Last time I met him again, Fresh and Fit studio. In the newest studio, we were down there. That was when they had the big boat party thing. Tommy's cool. I don't agree with a lot of Tommy's takes. He's a wild boy. But he's cool. He's cool. Yeah, please do like the video, subscribe and all that. I do appreciate it. You know what I mean? What's good? It's Brandon. What's good? Appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, coming through. Again, make sure y'all check out This Is Shaw. Hey, real talk. I just want to slow the show down for a hot second, man. Real talk. This Is Shaw. Mark my words right now, man. What is it? March 23rd, 2026. DL Saints on record. This Is Shaw is going to be able to help so many men just by sharing his experience and his knowledge of the family law system. Now, yeah, granted, the family law system works different in every state, but this brother can really break it down for you. Make sure you go over there and check out his content. He's in the red pill space. And this is the thing with mainstream media. Mainstream media cannot avoid people like DL Sainer, This Is Shaw, or Orion, Dr. Orion Taraban, or James Sexton, or Michael Sertain. They can only avoid these type of men for so long. The reason so many men are drawn to this space, the reason why we got over 40 people in and out of this chat right now, which is mega for me. Thank y'all very much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. The reason why men are in this space is because they're looking for answers. Men understand that the game that they were sold, that they were programmed when they were kids, is not effective out here in these real streets. It don't really work. These guys have been raised to be good guys, good boys, blue pill dudes, plugged in betas, and they're getting out here getting wrecked. We all know good guys finish last. I'm working on a book right now. And that's another thing too about this YouTube stuff, man. This shit ain't easy. I'm retired, so I have a lot of time. And I have fun doing this, and I really do want to help. If I could just help one dude avoid the family law trap, if I could help one dude keep his emotions in check until he vets the woman that he thinks he wants to be with. Because if I can help one dude understand that men love differently than women, it's hard for dudes. When dudes let their emotions out, man, that's opening Pandora's box, man. Good luck getting it back in. You're going to ignore red flags, man. You're going to let her treat you like crap. She's going to cheat on you, do all this other kind of stuff. If you chose poorly, that could happen to you. If I can help one guy avoid that by vetting properly, by doing the work, by getting his confidence up, right, then my mission is accomplished. I don't want y'all to be sitting in a situation where you paying $25,000, $26,000 a year for 18 years. 18 years. It can happen. It can happen. I don't want you to go through that. I want to give you the game. I tried to give it away, but now I got to sell it, right? But however you get it, I want you to get the information. I'm working on a book right now about all that, man. Right now. I was up till 7 a.m. working on this thing. Like I had no idea how hard authors are. I'm not a real author. I'm no academic, but I want to be able to sit. I want to be able to get this information to you guys. So make sure y'all check out This Is Shaw. I think Shaw is going to be one of the leaders of the space, because I think the red pill is coming away from the hardcore I'm angry red pill rage phase to an information era. I think guys now are really looking for the information, and they're really taking this information in, and these guys are learning. And it's not about women, man. It's not, people like, oh man, it's about, it's about tearing down women. It's not. Women are playing their game, men are playing their game. This is how it works, guys. This is how it works. Right? And people like, man, I can't believe the game is like this. Like, yeah, bro. That's like saying you can't believe you got grass stains and you out here playing football. Right? This game, the sexual marketplace, man, it's a full contact sport, man. People out here getting wrecked. It is a form of combat, and all's fair in love and war. Most of you dudes out here, man, you guys were just not properly prepared or equipped to deal with what's going on today. That's it. And the red pill this red pill world, this mental swamp, there's a lot of bullshit over here, man. Yes. Like old boy said, there's scammers out here. Yeah, 100%. There's people out here that gonna run your pockets. There are women out there who will run your pockets. There are dudes out there who will run your pockets. This is why you have to think. And if you follow this platform, this is what we push over here. You got to think. This is Shaw is going to show you the game from the inside. Forces you to think. He's like, damn, he's giving you the hardcore numbers. These are the numbers. I'm not saying don't go out here. I'm not saying go MGTOW. I'm not saying be black pill. All I'm saying is learn how the game is played. What's going on with Marquette right now? He's making money. That's part of the game. He's going after Candace Owens. He's going after Myron. He's going after Fresh and Fit. He's going after whoever, DJ Academics. Notice he ain't going after DL Saint. He ain't going after Ronnie, creative players, right? He ain't going after this show. He ain't going after anybody who has less subscribers and less pull than he does. He's doing what you do in the YouTube space. That's what he's doing. Now think about it. If I was really about the money, right? If I was really about the money, especially in YouTube, and I wanted to get on, all I would have to do is a video and lie on Myron and lie on Fresh. That's all I would have to do. I could just do a video trashing them boys, and I would get probably 200 people in the chat. Listen to, the boss of DL Saint. He's out here talking to, he's exposing Myron and Fresh. Like, I've been in both their houses, man. I broke bread with them, man. Like, me and Fresh, man, Fresh would be riding me all over Miami, man. Like, y'all don't understand. One of the things about Fresh, say what you want to say about Fresh, but man, he's a cool dude. This guy, it's a video of this out of him doing this somewhere. This guy came out of a meeting and he saw some dude looking at the Lamborghini when he had the one Lamborghini. I forget which one, not the Aventador, but the other one. It might have been, I don't know which Lamborghini it was. But this guy's looking at the Lamborghini, some dude who was like, a tourist just in America. I think the guy was from Venezuela or something like that, maybe Brazil. I can't remember where. And Fresh walks up. He's like, oh, that's a nice car, huh? And the guy's like, yeah, I really like exotic cars. One day if I work really hard, I would like to maybe get one. He's like, you ever rode in one before? He's like, oh, no, there's no way I could be able to ride in that. Fresh opens the door. Like, you want to ride right now? I'll take you for a ride right now. It's my car. The dude almost started crying. He was like, are you for real? I was like, yeah, man, get in. Let me show you how to get in. Got him in the car, drove him around the block. Dude got out like, the guy couldn't believe it, smiling from ear to ear. This guy was like, he cool. He was ready to go back home. It's like, shit, I don't need to do nothing else in America right now, man. I just got to ride in my dream car. Fresh did that for him. What did Fresh get out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he get out of that? Who does that? I've seen so many Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, you know what I'm saying? Maybachs, Bentleys, Bugattis. I lived in LA for 20 years. I ain't never had somebody walk up to me like, yo, you want to take a ride? Like, just like, come on, let's go. For Fresh to do something like that, man, he's like, and I asked Fresh too. I remember when that happened, like, hey, man, why'd you do that? He was like, hey, bro, I know what that guy's feeling. I'm from Barbados. Man, I never thought in a million years I'll be driving cars like this and hanging out and doing what I'm doing and meeting these people. Why not motivate that guy? That's the kind of person Fresh is. And, people want to call him a scammer. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. If Fresh wanted to scam that dude, he certainly could have, especially after he gave him the ride. That guy would have gave me anything he had in his pocket right then. That guy would have bought any course or whatever. So, again, I'm not in the Fresh and Fit inner circle anymore. I'm not doing this. I'm not getting anything out of this. I just like to call strikes and balls. I just want to keep it 100. What them boys was doing, I saw a lot of good. I saw some bad. But I didn't see any scamming going on. I saw a lot of people trying to scam Myron and Fresh. And that brings us back to, Saint the Center. Is he trying to scam Myron and Fresh? No. Is he trying to buy access? I think he was. I think he was trying to buy access. Cutting a $30,000 check, I think, was excessive. If he did it, I wouldn't have done it that way. Right? You could have taken that $30,000 and just done say, hey, man, let's put together some sort of event where, you guys get to keep all the proceeds. I'll invest the $30,000 to do the show. If it was someone like me and I have a background in live entertainment, I'm a stand-up comedian. Yes, I'm an air traffic controller. I'm a retired air traffic controller, but I'm also a stand-up comedian. I was an air traffic controller by day, comedian at night. If I were Marquette, if I was on his team, like, you got $30,000, you want to help out Fresh and Fit. Well, how about we just put together a show? We bring in a pretty decent headliner. We get some decent, comics to kind of fill in the show. You host it, and then all proceeds will go towards, go to Fresh and Fit. You can kind of do that. Put your $30,000 up. That'll bring in some good talent. We could probably fly in 2 good comics. You have a couple local comics you can host. Fresh to Help, Minor Fresh to Help, publicize it. We'll get people buying tickets. We can live stream the show, make money off of that, put it behind a paywall. And then when it's all said and done, I just take my 30,000 back and you guys keep the rest. Right? I mean, that's what I would have done. That would have gone so much further than just cutting a check, because you get somebody money come, you already know, bro. If somebody walks up to you, someone you like wasn't in the streets with, someone you would like didn't know since the play box, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I know homies that I grew up with. If I'm having hard times and one of them come up to me and drop off a bag, it makes sense to me because we went through it in the streets, or my family came up, it makes sense to me because that's family. But some dude comes up, here's 30 grand, no strings attached. Like, nah, man, there's some strings attached. There's some strings attached. Right? That's just how it works, bro. And I'm pretty sure that Myron first looked at that like, So that's how I would have done it. If I had $30,000 that I wanted to give to Myron Fresh, I wouldn't just cut them a check. I would put together an event and say, all proceeds, you guys keep all the proceeds. And then if we make money, if we're profitable, I'll just take my 30 grand back. If not, if we don't make any money, that's fine. But let's put this money to work. That's what I would have done. So I think Myron Fresh peeped that. Let's keep going.
I remember real quick, because I got to tell you, like, this is the thing with these guys, right? And, you know, like I said, I listen to, if it's entertaining and educational, bro, I like the content. I understand the game is, but you got to be a fool to be watching these guys and agree with everything that they say. You feel what I'm saying? These are people who do not have kids. These are people who do not have families, wife, none of that. They're trying to live this bachelor lifestyle and this persona on the internet. And I think somebody said, oh, he's going to expose. You can't expose me. I expose my damn self, brother. I got wife, kids, family, been with the same woman for probably 17 years now. 2 beautiful kids, you know, moved from West Virginia to Atlanta. I work AT&T. I work, at the pen too. I don't want to say exactly where, but real estate appraiser, podcast, credit players, going nuts. So like, I'm spending all my 24 hours in a day, and I am completely transparent about everything I do, because it's all about being honest with yourself, critiquing yourself, and leveling up. So expose me all you want to. Have a ball. Make a couple videos. They're not going nowhere. You know, yeah, the audience is waking up to what's unauthentic. And it's so obvious that it's like you don't even understand you are leading your destruction by carrying on the way you carrying on. But yeah, let me pull up Myron's thing. And this is what I was talking about. They was like, what do you mean Myron contradicted himself? Because here's the thing. When I like I said, I like Myron. I like Myron a lot, and I listen to him because he is educated. And sometimes I have seen him say he was wrong about something, right? But I know when it comes to stuff like this, I know this is a sensitive topic, which if I was to debate Myron, like when I was thinking about coming on Fresh and Fit and some of the things he said, I've had these concerns and these disagreements where I'm like, hold on, bro, you wouldn't feel like that. You know, if you say this girl is way hotter than you and all this stuff, she checks off every single box and all that stuff. But you telling me you wouldn't, you know, get away from your beliefs and all that if you just to keep her, it's basically trading a dime for 5 nickels or 3 nickels or something. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, you would want to keep the one though. If this is your one, bro, you will shift and you will change. People who don't have daughters and all that, they don't know yet, and they haven't even been together that long. So
I said that in the past. I think
to basically pursue other relationships, but you're not.
The women that he's with, he's just gonna be with them for like a night or so, whatever. But I don't think he sees it that way, because there is a reason why I've stayed so long with him.
I don't want to mix things up between you, right? But yeah, but we were talking about in the future that maybe there's a world where you would have more than one wife, right?
She understands that. She knows that could potentially come down.
And if you see that body language, look.
But we were talking about in the future that maybe there's a world where you would have more than one wife, right?
She understands that. She knows that could potentially come down in the future.
What do you say about that?
I don't know. I mean, he has said how that will work. The thing is that I think.
Well, right now it's not going to be anytime soon, because.
Yeah, I mean, let's not disrespect this sub.
So he's watching this stream from Sneeko. Sneeko was also in that documentary. Rich Cooper also talked about, especially this particular moment in the documentary. Myron posted the unedited version of what actually was said in that conversation in the moment. And if you listen to that, and then you look at how they cut it, how they made the edits, they did a really good job with that edit. And this is probably the most damning part of that Netflix documentary, right? But I've met Angie, broke bread with her too, right? We were this was when Fresh and Fit had the collab with Valuetainment. They did a live Fresh and Fit episode in the Valuetainment studios. It was a good time. There was a lot of people there, man. Mike Rashad was there. Zerka was there. Zerka. That's another conversation for another day. All the Valuetainment people were there. After that, we grabbed a late bite to eat in Hollywood, like Fort Lauderdale area. We were at Moxie's. And she was sitting right there to Myron's left. And to Myron's right, he had another dime, another Latino woman. She was fine. And bro, they were all over and they were both kissing him and all that kind of stuff. He grabbing on him, they grabbing on him. Like, all right, she was cool with that. Now I talked to Rich Cooper about this, and Rich Cooper made a really good point. This was on Rich Cooper's platform, Unplugged Alpha. Rich Cooper made a really good point. It's like, you don't want to embarrass your woman. If you're living this type of lifestyle, you don't want to embarrass her. You don't want to put her on the spot. It's one thing to be doing your thing and, there are no cameras around and y'all doing whatever, multiple girls, whatever. She's the main chick, but there's other chicks. There's that. But it's quite another to be on Netflix in front of the entire planet. And it's like, that's what you're seeing there. And, I agree with him. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah. But I just want to bring home a point. She signed on for this. Myron told her up front, which is what I tell you guys. If you're out here and you running rotations and you out here, you womanizing, you spinning plates, right? You got a rotation, you doing your thing. Make sure the women they're dealing with you in your rotation, they understand and they accept what's going on. So you ain't got to deal with someone saying you cheating and all this other kind of stuff later. When I was young and I was out there doing my thing, when I was running my rotation, every woman in the rotation knew she was in a rotation. Now, did I have them all in the same room together? No, I didn't do that. I had homies that did that. Shout out to my man Stone. That's the first time I ever seen someone do something like that. That's what Tristan Tate does it. Justin Waller and Tristan Tate were talking about it. They gave it some sort of name. They call it the corral or something. I forget what they call it when they bring all the women they smashing into the same room. And they sit back and they watch these women compete for their attention. Like crazy. A lot of people like that doesn't happen. It does happen. I didn't do that. What I did was I just made sure the woman I'm dealing with know, like, look, we're not committed. This is not some sort of, committed relationship. When I'm with you, I'm with you. When I'm not with you, I'm doing my thing. Right. And if a woman say, well, what does that mean? You saying you seen other women? That's exactly what I'm saying. Now she might leave, right? Because she has a decision to make. She might leave, which is fair, or she might say, all right, I don't ever want to see her. Don't throw it in my face, blah, blah, blah. Like, I won't throw it in your face. And I was doing this in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not a big city. I won't throw it in your face. I'm really good about, how I move. I'm not going to embarrass you. And most women were cool. If I had to make up a percentage, I would say 70% of the women were cool with that. Right? They would all say the same thing. I appreciate you telling me the truth, because most of these dudes out here doing what you're doing and they lying. I hate getting lied to. At least you telling me the truth. Are you going to lose some women? Yeah. You're going to have some women who go away. They're not going to like that. But guess what? Those women will circle back. They're like, man, you cool. They're going to talk to their friends, whatever. Like, yeah, blah, blah. They're going to circle back. It's a really good chance they circle back. So at least Myron's up front doing what he was doing. Old girl signed up for it. Right? Angie signed up for it. And this documentary made her look like some confused little girl. That is not who this lady is. This woman is a real one. Angie knows what she's doing. She's a grown up. She signed up for some grown up things. And this documentary was cut in such a way to make you believe that maybe she has some regrets. Maybe she did. And then they say, oh, they broke up. They're not together anymore because of this documentary. Now, allegedly the reason behind the breakup is she was ready to take it to the next level. She's ready to have kids and all that. Myron said he wasn't ready to do that. That's what Myron says. There's a video out there with Angie talking about how she felt about all this. I haven't seen that video. I know that Auburn Priest had that video out there. If you guys have seen it, let me know, because I haven't watched that video. Is that video worth watching? Chat, let me know. Is that something I should watch? Is that something you guys want to see me talk about? Because I will. Legion of Saints, Saint the center or nothing. Peace to the Saints. All right, yeah. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Marquette has a loyal following, man. Marquette, he has his thing. He's doing his thing. But when I'm watching the way he's moving now, this is all about clout. You know, and this is about promoting your brand. This is the best way to do it. Everyone's talking about it. I'm talking about it. You know what I mean? Old boy talking about it. Ronnie's talking about it. Creative players. Everyone's talking about it. This is, you know, this is going to get your numbers up, or you might lose some people. I mean, just like here. Kenny Alpha, man, he's not happy with the way Marquette is moving right now. He's not happy with it. So, you know, but you're still going to have, you know, you got people like right here. They say the dude's the realest dude. You know, he's talking about the haters and all that. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And there are people trying to figure it out. People are looking at it. You know, I mean, I see it for what it is. It's a good play. It's just like little shorty that says she needs $60,000 to date a guy. No, I'm sorry, $50,000. Remember shorty was like on Earn Your Leisure. She was like, yeah, for a dude to date me, I gotta be getting paid $50,000. He gotta pay me $50,000 a month to date me, 40 or 50 grand a month, because I got bills and da. Same thing. Why was she on Earn Your Leisure and why was she saying this? Why was she throwing out them big numbers, man? Because she is marketing herself to a very select group of men, right? You want to rock with her? It costs $50,000 a month to ride this ride. That's basically what she's saying. That's going to weed out a whole bunch of people, right? And that documentary was 100% a red pill hit piece. And the thing with that documentary, it's going to force someone to go out and do a proper documentary. You guys remember the red pill, the original documentary, Casey James thing, right? That was a real documentary. And when people come to the space, when they delve into what's going on over here with the red pill and all that kind of stuff, if you get into it, the truth is the truth. There's no getting around it. The game as it is right now it is set against men. It is really difficult. Men need to understand what they're getting themselves into. My thing is, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we're going to change the game and women going to be back barefoot and pregnant and they can't vote. I don't want to see any of that. I like women that make their own money. I like women. I'd have no problem with women going out voting. I think women should have to serve in the United States military. I think they should have to register with selective service. We got a war going on in the Middle East right now with Iran. This little incursion the president calls it, bro, we might have to take Iran. If we got to take Iran, it's going to be a draft. Most of y'all watching, most of you men, you guys are going to have to go fight or run away, right? People talk about, like Myron says, women shouldn't serve in the military. I do not agree with that at all. You know, Myron also says women shouldn't be in combat roles. I don't agree with that at all. I think there should be one standard. Me and Myron had this conversation and he agreed. He's like, you know what? I hear you. There should be one standard. There shouldn't be two standards. There shouldn't be a male and a female standard. She should have to pass. If you want to be a ranger, you should have to pass the ranger standard. That's where we ended up in that conversation. This is why I don't do debates. I just like to sit down and talk. Women can fire a rifle just as easy and collect KIAs just as easy as men can. One of the most deadly snipers in World War II were female. The Russians had so many lethal female snipers, right? The Russians may have had the first and only female fighter ace, 5 kills. She didn't. She got her 5th kill, and then someone got her. So I don't know officially if they credit her with that 5th kill that would have made her an ace. But women can do certain things. Do I want, infantry? Like, do I want a woman out there on the front lines, infantry having to go hand to hand? No, she's at a serious disadvantage. But can she fly the helicopters into a combat environment and medevac people out? Yeah. Right? Can she work in a combat environment, at an aid station or a hospital? Yes. Can she work as an air traffic controller in a combat environment? Yes. We had a whole lot of females in our unit, and we were forward. So, when people get into this time, I'm like, look, we're not changing none of that. Right. But I think all men and women should register for the draft. I think all men and women should have to, actually, I believe everyone should have to do 2-year mandatory military service as soon as they get out of high school. 2-year mandatory, everybody. But we'll get into that another day. But when Myron and I had these conversations, and even Myron had these conversations with other people, he'll concede. He was like, yeah, okay, so long as just one standard. He doesn't want to see women in the military, but like if you're going to be in there, it's just one standard. They meet the standard and they can do whatever it is they're doing. And that's where he lands on that. Right. But it's what Marquette is doing right here, man, is marketing, bro. It's marketing. And it might cost him. But once you commit, you got to keep going. He might lose some subscribers. He obviously lost one. Kenny Alpha, he lost him, but he might gain some subscribers. Right? Obviously, he got his guys in the chat right now who are part of the Saint movement, the Peace to the Saints thing. They're part of whatever that movement is called. And if they can learn to become better men and they can understand what the game is today, then man, more power to you. More power to you. So long as you guys are talking about getting prenups and, cohabitation agreements and vetting your women properly and keeping your emotions in check, don't fall in love until you know that she's the one, and using your inner circle and your family to help vet women. 2 years to vet a woman. So long as you guys are doing all that, then all right, man, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's continue.
Relationship, they broke up. But this is a good example of why, if I am married, which, you guys say like, oh, you're unmarried, you don't know. You guys don't know my life. And also, yeah, just keep it private. Keep it private, especially for public figures. You do not want to put the evil eye. You want to keep them in as much as possible. Look what that one dude, that one cloud chaser tried to do to my family. It's like, you gotta hide him as much as possible, bro.
I'm just so focused on working.
But it could happen, right?
It could, of course.
You can kick it down the road only. So, if a relationship, long-term plan, at some point, those two realities will collide.
That's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. Like right now.
That's so avoidant.
It's something you never know, man. You can always change your mind down the road. Who knows? Maybe I'll say, I only just want to be with one girl. Two would be too tough.
See, but that's kind of an acknowledgement. Like, okay, well, maybe the people would appreciate it more if they got that side of Myron too. They understand, well, you know what? Things can change and it's not so set in stone. I'm going to have a man, I'm going to have multiple women, but for the one, you would change. You would. And if you had a kid with that one woman and then you see how your daughter was looking up to you, like, that's what I'm saying. People don't know how they will change when life changes, with life changes. I'm sorry. People change with life changes. You get married, you have a kid, y'all got relationship, everything going good. Then you start to really grow and realize, oh, I really don't want to lose this. I need this. You see, maybe he don't, but if he's seen it like that, his ideals would definitely change. Like I said, this is coming from regular dude, regular guy over here. So I'm just telling you, people get in here in these manospheres and they start talking what they talking. You got to look at their complete situation. You got to look at you even got to examine the way they was raised, where they come from, why do they think the way they think, and the current situation they live in. Like I said, no family, no kids, bro. As a man, I'm 33. I can't listen to nobody out here. Fully accepting. I can listen to them, but just to blindly listen and not ask these certain questions to where, like, you know what? How is this, relatable to my situation? This is his situation. He's a single man. And as a single man, I understand what Myron be saying. If I was a single man, bachelor, with some money in my pocket, he would be absolutely right. You feel what I'm saying? But if you want to look down the road, like you said, look down the road, you don't want to lose the one. You don't want to lose the one that might be for you, that you can grow with and who can, might accept some things that you do and all that. And they just be like, I ain't going for no other wife. You can do all that, but I ain't going for no other wife. You possibly would change your mind if you had kids with them in the future and you guys had built something already that, that you had both put time into. Like, nah, it's not that easy, man. It's not that easy.
Tracked on that already. Some people in this part of the culture, right, who are advocates for the idea of like the 1% male, that ultimate masculine, that he's
Go.
See, Myron right here, he noticed this was happening. He's like, damn, okay. Once he said you're backtracking on that already, that's why he's like, all right, let me get them up out of here. Let me go ahead, take the dog and get out of here.
Also, I need if you could clean up the room too. I need some help with that.
Was that okay? By the way, I always feel weird. Like, no. It's awkward though.
No.
Would you felt a little awkward?
No, not at all.
By the way, I always feel weird. Like, no. It's awkward though.
No.
Would you felt a little?
No, not at all. No, Angie, like she's with me on the street.
Is your
On board with what specifically?
You know what? Like just the idea of other ladies.
No, we've had.
You guys see that's thundering crazy outside? It just started to major thunderstorm right now here in New York.
These discussions.
I saw a little bit of pain in her. No, definitely.
No.
Yes.
No.
You don't think if I said to her,
And when he it's hard to admit. I can't say he can't admit he's wrong. Saint cannot admit he's wrong, but there's some concerns here. And in time I seen the video of her actually, I don't know who did it, man. It was just like a little clip, but they were saying, and I think Abner and Preach put it out because I did see their face, but they was basically saying that she was glad that guy came and asked her these questions and put her on the spot because it opened up to her and she realized that she did not want to live. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, you cannot say, oh, this whoever Louis dude or whatever is a hit piece or that. He actually gave clarity to a situation that influenced a lot of people. He gave clarity to it. So you got to acknowledge that and accept it. And it is what it is. And it don't matter how much you might like Saint or Myron. The things that I feel like I'm pointing out is, like y'all said, I'm biased. I'm trying to stay biased. Like I'm telling you, I rock with either. I would hang out. I go hang out with Saint, but don't think I won't tell him the truth. I won't tell him how he acting because that's what a real one gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, that part about Angie and the documentary forcing her to look at her situation and saying that this interview played a part in her deciding to break things off with Myron. Okay, that's possible, right? It's definitely a possibility, but she probably already had her mind made up. If in her mind she's thinking, I want kids and I want kids by a certain time, I done had the conversation with him and he's saying he's not ready for that. Because there's no way Myron can do what he's doing if he has a family, if he has a new baby. He's not going to the colleges. He's not streaming on Myron X. What's his platform? Myron Gains X or Myron X Gains or something. He's not doing Fresh and Fit. All that's over. All that's over, bro. Like when you have kids, and this, I want you guys to have children. I want you guys to make babies because we need more babies in America. Being a father is an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. The best scenario is you, your wife, and your child, and children or whatever. Same home, you guys are a nuclear family. That's the best case scenario. And if you can't get that, you want a healthy co-parenting relationship where you guys are, sharing custody and being there and still involved in family stuff, still coming around. That's, if you can't have a nuclear family, that's the second best scenario. Where you don't want to be is where you have what they call a fiery foes situation where one parent is using the child as a weapon, using the court as a weapon, trying everything they can to hurt you. This is why you got to vet the woman you're with and think this stuff through, right? This is why you got to think this stuff through. And if Myron had a child, he would not, especially a brand new baby, he would not be able to fly off to these colleges and try to become the Brown Charlie Kirk or whatever it is he's trying to do. He wouldn't be able to do none of that. He wouldn't be able to continue his schedule. Things change. When you have a child, man, everything centers around your baby at that point, right? So, and I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing, man, to be up to your elbows in baby poop, you know what I mean? And have baby powder and wet wipes and, just trying to keep your kid clean and, carrying all your gear. And when I would take my daughter around, man, when she first came home from the hospital, like when she was a newborn and toddler, taking her around, bro, I had a real loadout, man. I had gear. I had it all packed up. I had a thing going on, bro. I had gear. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it, you know. And as a man, I do believe that I failed because I failed to provide for my daughter what I know to be best, that's having a nuclear family. I failed. So you do your best from that point on. You try to, you know, move through that. And one day I'll have a conversation and I'll talk about exactly how I think I failed. But this video, this documentary, I don't believe had anything to do with Angie deciding to move on. You know, is it a chance that this was the straw that broke the camel's back? Possibly. But more than likely, she'd already made up her mind. She was ready to make her move. She was probably already dealing with the guy. She had the next guy set up already. And this is something they talk about in the manosphere all the time. You know what I mean? Women, they don't just cut it loose. They normally got somebody standing by. They got someone they're ready to monkey branch over to. They don't go over there and go over here and then go over. That didn't work. Let me go back over here. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how the game is played. Right? That's just how the game is played. So do I believe that this video is the reason she left Myron? No. Could I be wrong? 100% absolutely. Who really knows? Angie. You'll have to talk to Angie.
I got to keep it real with myself too. When I'm like, you know what, reflect on some stuff, be like, yeah, I was tripping. You know, Myron, I'll tell you, hey, bro, now I agree. Hey, you right on this, right on that. Oh, but you wrong on that. Why? No, that we'll have that debate. And I got another perspective to let him see it. Because me, as a married man with 2 kids, I can show you and tell you things that you have never experienced. So you will be able to learn from something that I said. You're listening to 2 guys whose goal or who is single, and their goal is to blow up. You know what I mean? And get notoriety, you know. So they're in a different mode right now. But I'm telling you, all that stuff, I've seen the other side of what's to come with it. So I got something to show them.
You would have Myron all to yourself. Would you rather have that? You don't think she would say, yeah, 100%, of course.
She would say whatever makes him happy. That's what she would say. You know, the time I do have, I spend with her if I'm with him.
See, he was wrong.
Any woman.
And I'm sure if he could get her back, he would.
No,
I
gotta stop it right there. I don't think he would, bro. I don't think he would. And that's one of the things that so many guys get wrecked on. Right. I would making up numbers, guys, and do me a favor in the chat. Answer this question. I'm gonna make up my number. I want you guys to make up your number in the chat. What percentage of men fall down the red pill rabbit hole trying to figure out how to get their ex-girlfriend back? What percentage? I say the percentage is probably 85%. I think 85% of dudes in this space found this space because they want to figure out how to get a girlfriend back. I think it's really high. I think it's the majority of guys in the space. So do me a favor in the chat, man, right? What percentage of men do you think fall down this red pill rabbit hole trying to get their girlfriend back? And here's the thing. You fellas, getting your girlfriend back, that's not the play. Especially if she left you. It's one thing if she, you know, you out here, you didn't do what Uncle Saint said, you didn't tell her up front that you messing with other chicks, you didn't tell her you had a rotation, you tried to be cool, play it off, and got caught, and she left you, that's one thing. That's one thing. But if you're in a relationship with a woman, you guys are doing everything you can. Like you are doing everything on your end to be that guy, to a lot of guys are putting her on a pedestal. They're bending over backwards, and then she leaves you anyway. You don't want to bring her back. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's willing to let you go. Now, if you out here and you just a bad boy, you out here, you're like, all right, well, I tried to do right by you. I was a good guy. You dumped me, so now I'm a bad boy, and she comes back and you just want to smash. Okay, that's one thing. That's putting her in a rotation. That's telling her what you should have told her from the front, right? And you just want to do dirty things with her and get some more photos and video and all that. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. If that's what you're doing. But don't take her back and be like, oh, we about to have this serious relationship. I tell dudes all the time, like, man, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Yeah, 70%. Cody says 10%. Nah, bro. Right? But I think 85% of the dudes in the red pill space got into the space trying to figure out how to get a girlfriend back or trying to figure out why he got ghosted or curved by some chick. Right. So I throw that in there together. But I think that's the vast majority of dudes. And I'm noticing in the chat, man, we got a lot of Christopher Hernandez is in here, man. We got Team Myron in here. We got Team Marquette in here. We got Saint and Sinners in here, like they say, peace to the Saints. Like when y'all see my name, DL Saint, again, I'll tell you where that came from. DL Saint has nothing to do with what Marquette is doing. I'm way older than you guys are. I'm in my mid-50s. In 1990, I was in the United States Army basic training. I was in basic training, and the guys in my unit called me Saint. Right, my last name is Lewis. My first name is Don, so DL. Right, and then Saint is the nickname that they gave me in basic training. It didn't stick. It didn't follow me throughout my military career, which was good. Right, but I had a different military nickname. But DL Saint is the name I chose to use on YouTube, and that's the reason why. So it has nothing to do with Saint in the center and all that. Here we go. 10% the most just want to understand women naturally, especially seeing how they behave nowadays. She's like, ain't you late 32? Like, bro, I'm in my mid-50s, bro. I'm in my mid-50s. I'm older than the number of people we have. Well, no, I'm not. I'm right around the number of people we have in the chat right now. I'm legit mid-50s. So, you know, black don't crack. Y'all know how we get down. It's like, y'all know black don't crack. It was like military nickname was Diddy Booty D up. Man, you see Cody. Cody and King trying to get some attention, man. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get some attention, bro. You big dummy. Trying to clown me, man. Stop it. But yeah, man, I'm old. Black don't crack, bro. I don't look my age. I know it. This is why when I go out and I talk to women, bro, here's another thing too, guys. The red pill talks about how men and women peak at different times. Women reach their peak with respect to sexual marketplace in their 20s. Guys don't reach their peak in the sexual marketplace until like their mid-30s, early 40s. So if you do the work and keep yourself together, you start making money, man, you could be in your 50s. And bro, now you have so many women coming after you. When I go out and I talk to women and they find out how old I am, bro, I got the older women trying to holler at me. Right. So I got basically grandma trying to holler at me, her daughter trying to holler at me, and the grandbaby trying to holler at me. Because the grandkids will be like, you know, in their late 20s. I got stories. I got stories. It'll blow your mind. And you look at guys like Idris Elba, you look at George Clooney, you look at Brad Pitt. And these guys are in their 60s, right? And you telling me when they go out, they can't get the hottest of the hot, they can't pull the dimes in whatever space they in? It takes time, gentlemen, to acquire the things that women find attractive. When it comes to men looking at women, women are born with the things that men find attractive, youth and beauty, and they're fit. That's pretty much it. What did Kevin Samuels used to say? Fit, friendly, feminine. It's pretty much what dudes are looking for. But women want things that takes time to acquire. Simple as that. So when you hit your 30s, mid-30s, into your 40s, that's when you really, especially if you've been doing the work, that's when you're really starting to come into it. This is why you should take the time now just working on your game. And a lot of guys out there, you guys are like, well, you know, you can't get no girls if you won't have any money. Oh, shit. Money is good. Money helps, but it's not the end all to be all. Being 6 feet or taller helps, but it's not the end all to be all. Being fit, all those things, bro, what you need is confidence in yourself, right? And a style, and be able to engage in conversations. And the most important thing you need to be successful, gentlemen, is knowing when to break contact with women. These things are far more important than all the other stuff. When I was at my peak, womanizing, running my rotations, I was the brokest I've ever been. I was barely making $28,000 a year. I think I might have touched $30,000, bro. This was all through the 90s. I got out of the Army in 1994. from 1994 until 1998 is when I was hired by the FAA. I wasn't making any money. I think the most money I made that year was $30,000. Was I doing some stuff on the side, a little bit, some hustling and this and that, legal hustling? I mean, I wasn't out there cranking. I could have. I wasn't out there cranking. I wasn't on the block doing that. I mean, I could have. You know what I mean? Was I running a couple plays here and there? Yeah, but for the most part, I was just working 2 full-time jobs and a side hustle all the time. That's what I was doing. Barely making $30,000 a year. But I had women everywhere. Everywhere. Why? Because I know how to talk to women, bro. Y'all got to get this.
Holla, 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 holla. Let me holla at you. Let me holla at you. Let me holla at you.
Y'all need that. And if you can do that, you are sincere and you are confident, you're going to be able to get women. And then when you do come into the money and you gamed up, bro, you a beast. You an absolute beast.
The family, that's why they left. Of course she did, bro. All the you say that on your show all the time. All these women want is a man to take care of them and a family. So why would you get a girlfriend?
Ron Hart, Daily Mail.
Yeah. Tiki-Taki, he was hilarious, man. That guy. But hold on, there's more. Now, this is the result of being inauthentic, being exposed on the internet, and a lot of people, 244 subscribers, 4.2, 8.K, 8.2. I mean, I'm saying 8.K, 8.2, 8.2, 7K, then 24 on Fresh and Fit. You got to say Fresh and Fit. Rages against Marquette, destroys and all that. Same thing Cooley does. Cooley will lose an argument, upload it on his channel, and be like, I obliterated this woman or this point or something. They all do it. Like I said, cool people, but they be wrong sometimes. And you got to understand as a listener, you cannot be so up in a cult to where you believe everything that they be talking about because they be dead ass no, right? 4.5, 6.5, this, that. Now I understand because I got 4,000 followers. Shout out to y'all. And I have like some of them maybe like 50. This, so I'm like, all right, I'm just off. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I teach you how to master money and women. 2 things he has not mastered. I'm just saying. Red flag. Money, you haven't mastered money. You haven't. Sorry. I don't care. You could have more money. You haven't mastered money, bro. Like, where is this? Where are we learning about money on any of this right here? It's just a whole money. And why are we talking about all these other people and everything that don't have nothing to do with money and women? How you master women and you ain't married. You got the money. Okay. If you have money and women, how do you not find? It's a ratio 3-to-1. First to men. How do you not find that one for you? How have you not attracted that one for you? That is the sign.
Now, this is where Brother Ronnie and I don't agree. This part right here. If you've mastered money and women, how come you're not married? Marriage is difficult, fellas, right? And I'm going to keep it 100. I've never been married in America. I wanted to. I thought I would be married and I wanted that. But after dealing with the family law system, there's no way on God's green earth that I would sign a marriage contract. Well, let me back it up. Hold up. The only way I will get married in America is if the woman that I'm going to marry has a net worth that is greater than my own. Right? I want to say that one more time. The only way I will get married in America today is if the woman that I'm going to marry is worth more than me. At least by a factor of 2. Right? At least. Why? Am I saying that because I'm trying to run her pockets, because I'm trying to scam her? I'm going to take her money. I'm going to be the Tinder swindler? No, that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying it because if it goes sideways, if it doesn't work, and we accept in this country that 50% of marriages fail, first-time marriages fail, we accept that. I think the latest numbers are somewhere in the 40s, 46% or something like that. People are like, look, their marriage, the divorce rate is getting better. No, less people are getting married, but we accept 50%. If I go into an agreement knowing that this agreement, this whatever this is, fails, right? This instrument fails half the time. And I could lose up to 50%. I could lose half, maybe 2/3 of my net wealth. Why would I get involved in that situation? Why would I sign that contract? That contract doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. There's no way in hell you will sign that contract. If you think about it, there's no guy out there that's just a bad contract to sign. And people understand it. Bill Burr Bill Burr has one of the funniest bits I've ever seen. The bit has to be almost 20 years old now. Where he talks about getting married. Is this the line I stand in to lose half my shit? Right. If you guys haven't seen it, just type in Bill Burr marriage or whatever. It's one of his classic bits. So if I'm going to get married in America, the woman I'm dealing with is going to have way more money. She's going to have Oprah Winfrey money. Right? She's going to have Kelly Clarkson money. So if it goes sideways, I'm not going to lose anything. If this thing doesn't work, which is a coin flip, right? If this thing doesn't work, I'm not going to lose anything. And if she decides to come at me and start acting all nasty, I'll remind her that, okay, we can go to court, but you're paying for both lawyers. You're going to lose the house. Half of it's coming to me. You're going to lose half your Birkin collection. I'm taking your Kellys. I'm taking your Birkins. Right? You're going to lose half of your retirement. Right? You're going to lose half of your financial portfolio because you're the one that has. One thing you got to realize about the family law system in America, they don't care about gender. A lot of women think, well, because I'm a woman, I'm going to win. We just go to family law court. I go into the family law system, I'm going to win. No, the judge doesn't give a shit about your gender. They just want to know who has the money and who doesn't. They're going to take from whoever has it and give it to the person who doesn't. Why? Because they get 66% on the dollar, right, for as a rebate from the federal government. So for every dollar they order you to pay in child support, the state gets 66 cents. And that money comes from the federal government in the form of a rebate. It's called Title 4D. This is what you should be learning in the Manosphere. And I don't care if Marquette tells you this. I don't care if Fresh and Fit tells you this. DL Saint, you know what I mean? The created players. I don't care where you get this information. This is Shaw. Right? Understand that. That's the game. Women are making more money than men in larger metropolitan areas. Women are graduating from college in higher numbers than men. And we all know if you graduate college, you tend to earn more money. Although AI is going to blow a hole in that, right? But for right now, we're just going to go with it. If I get married in America, the woman I'm going to marry is going to be at least twice as wealthy as I am. Then I'll do it. And I don't want anything from her, but I'm not going to lose anything either if this thing goes sideways. And there's a 50% chance that it will. That's why I say I'll never get married. Right? Keep that in mind, guys. Don't forget how that works. Because if you do, and you marry a woman and you've made all this money and you have properties and you have financial holdings and you have a nice 401k, you have a retirement, you're getting a pension, and you get married to a woman and after about 5 to 7 years, she decides I want to get divorced, and y'all got kids, you're looking at child support and alimony. You know what?
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a serious problem. Let's continue.
It's a sign. Why have we not seen you be a prime example? You know what I mean? How have you not been able to show us the since you master women, how have you not shown the result of that? How have you not got your family and built your legacy? Be 35 plus, probably somewhere around there. So you haven't even started your legacy. What are we doing all this for? What is all this talk? It got to be about legacy at the time. But I feel like people to move on. They will and tell you this and that and how you need to do all this stuff. And they haven't even started the simple basic thing of a family and a legacy in life. What all of this is about. Look at Tate. Look at the Andrew guy. Look at, they got the kids. They got the family. They are still doing what I'd be more reliant to listen to them and understand them because they relate more to me. And all these men out here, you should be wanting to, keep your legacy going, providing for your family. Y'all are providing for yourselves. Yeah. And once you get those kids up, we need to see how you are as a dad, how you are as a leader in your own family. How does your woman follow you? Because for examples, it's been horrible. It's been horrible when it comes to that fatherhood, that real leadership. Yes, you can teach a bunch of people on the internet who are completely lost and they'll listen to anything you say because it's entertaining and you can have talking points and you can do all that, but it must exist in your real life. I need to see your fruit. I need to see how your kids act, how they act, the manners they have, who they, what did you instill in them? Because she even said, like Myron, completely different person off camera. And I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? You would think it's the same person. Still my dog, but hey, it's cool. You should be, you should. But me, you probably not going to see. I'm probably the same person all the time. And that's why a lot of people, I ruffle some feathers sometimes, I'm just as aggressive in the workplace or this. And I'm honest. I'm outspoken. I'm confident. Sorry. I don't care. Like, that's just me. That's how I'm operating. Yes. When it comes to these guys, you got to check out their real life. I need to see who you really are in real life. Not in 4K IRL. You know what I mean? 24/7. Like Saint, he'll say, oh, I dress this way. I talk this way. I give the ism. I do all that. Cool. You do that. And then Myron gonna tell you everything about, like, you see how they what one is strong in, the other isn't. You see what I'm saying? It's funny. It's so opposite. And they don't even realize that they could learn from each other, but they would never do that. You know what I mean? So I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm keeping it real. Until these folks get a wife and a family, you know what I mean? I would, squint at everything, what you see. I would keep an eye on it, man. But let me see if there's anything else. But when
he's talking about a wife and a family, bro, I really encourage that. I think you should at least try. The black pill guys, I have no tolerance for. Most of the black pill guys have never been successful with women. That's where the true incels live. And they're just coming up with excuses for their own failures. The MGTOW guys, most of the MGTOW guys, they were out there. They had women. They were doing their thing. They just decided the juice isn't worth the squeeze and they moved on. I can respect that to a point. I can. You look at people like Joker, a Better Bachelor. I get it. Joker's a guy. Joker's not nowhere near 6 feet. Like, he's short. Not the most handsome guy. Didn't have a lot of money at first, but he figured it out, started making money. Joker knew how to talk to women. Joker was out here doing his thing, and he realized it just ain't worth it. And he's like, you know what? I'm out of here. So those MGTOW guys, I get. But I think, fellas, that you guys really should strive to be fathers, reproduce, man. Leave your mark on this world. Continue your bloodline. I think you should try it. Now, here's the thing. A lot of guys are like, but damn, Saint, you talking about having us risk all this hard work and everything. We're going to give up half and get stuck paying alimony and all this other kind of stuff. First of all, the laws are slowly changing. I wouldn't count on the laws to change overnight to really help us, but laws are starting to change down here in Florida. No more forever alimony. I think it's in Tennessee where they're considering mandatory paternity tests. You're looking at Texas. Texas has caps on child support. So the law is slowly changing. But what you can do, right? And this was on Fresh and Fit. Go through Fresh and Fit's catalog on Rumble. Go back to their early time. I think it's like year 1, 2, or 3, somewhere in there. Fresh and Fit would bring lawyers onto the platform. It was a husband and wife couple. They were both divorce lawyers. And they would talk about how to structure your finances in such a way that you don't get destroyed in family court if there's a divorce. Again, every state is different, but so if you have a lot of money, you get, the thing is not to commingle accounts. Have your structure set up to where certain accounts don't mix up. If you take money out of one pot to do something for the house and, like buy a new air conditioner or something like that, once you do that, now that account, wherever that money came from, that's part of the family pot. So you have to figure out ways to get money so where the accounts don't get commingled, right? So that's one of the things you can do to protect yourself if you have a lot of money. If you have a ton of money, sign a really good prenup, you're not really worried about it. Like if she signs a good prenup, I mean, you're good to go. Especially if you're taking care of everything, you just be prepared to continue to take care of that for a while. But if you're just a regular guy and you don't have anything, people say, "Well, I don't have nothing, so I don't need a prenup." I think you still should get a prenup just so you guys can figure out who's going to handle the debt. Because if you don't have much and she doesn't have much, that means you're going to live like most Americans. You're going to have a ton of debt. Who's going to pay that debt? Like if you get with a woman and she has, let's say she has $50,000 in student loans. Once y'all get married, that $50,000, bro, that debt, you own half of that. You own half of it. If y'all split, or you're gonna wind up paying for half of that debt. So you want to have know what she has going on financially. Say, hey, let's do this paperwork. I got this lawyer. Let's do this paperwork, and you keeping that debt. If we split up, I'm not paying for half that debt. But while we're together, I'm gonna help you pay it off. But if we split up, I'm not paying half that debt. But that needs to be in writing, man. Y'all need to get that squared away day one. And then, of course, if you're a Pookie or a Ray Ray, if you're a Billy Bob or a Jethro, you living in the trailer park or the hood or whatever, and you just out there slaying and just making babies, but you ain't making no money, you ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. These women are silly enough to have your baby, then whatever. Right? So we're not trying to be those dudes. So this space will help you think of these things. You're like, well, I heard on DL saying, man, he was talking about co-mingling accounts. Go talk to a lawyer or someone else. Like, what does that mean? And they'll tell you. Oh, this is what he's talking about. He's probably talking about keeping these accounts separate. And if you mix this account, that account, if now that becomes part of the home pot, so to speak, about blah, blah. Fresh and Fit had people on their show multiple times talking about this sort of thing. Right? If you guys buy property, you buy rental properties while you're married, how are you going to split that up? If you come into a if you come into a marriage, a situation where you got a woman, but you already have 5 properties out here, you got, I don't know, 25, 30 doors already, and y'all get married 5 years, 7 years down the road, y'all get divorced, she's going to get half of that. If you don't have your structure set up properly, she's going to get half of your buildings. Let's say you got 6 buildings, she's getting 3 of them. Right? And she's going to keep that. So this is why you need to be thinking, is it worth structuring yourself in such a way that you can go ahead and get married and have a family and all that? I think it is. I think it is. There's nothing like picking up your kid, man, and seeing yourself in their eyes. There's nothing like coming around the corner, or like whenever I pick up my daughter for school, I pick up my daughter, man, she walks up to the car, man, she's just smiling. That makes my day. Like waking up in the morning, I get to go wake my daughter up, get her up for school. That makes my day. Like she's downstairs right now. They were out of school. That spring break ends today for them. They go back to school tomorrow. But just having her around, waking her up. Come on, we're going to the grocery store. Just going into the store and talking and seeing what's going on in her life. And she wants to, like all the other kids, she wants to get on Twitch. She wants to be a gamer. She wants to, play Minecraft on Twitch. So we're trying to figure that out. Right? And she's almost grown. A lot of people like, man, don't let her do it. Don't let her do it. She's gonna do it. Right? She's gonna do it. So let me show her the way. Let me be involved in what she's doing. Let me pay attention to what's going on. Let me be in the chat. Let me answer questions. I'm gonna see when these weirdos reach out to her. I'm gonna be texting them back, letting them know, like, bro, get them to do a FaceTime with me and watch them jump off the phone call real quick. Let them know. My daughter has a father in her life. There's a lot of women that don't. Right? And my daughter comes to me like, she's gonna make a mistake. She's gonna bump her head. But it's so great that you have, a little person in your life that comes to you and asks you, like, what should I do? They love and respect you, and they know that they're safe. And they know that, I heard my daughter bragging, like, my dad will come find you. My dad will throw you in the swamp. They, how kids be talking crazy. But that's how your children should look at you. Like, my father's Superman. Like, she has a father in her life. I think that's great. I think you guys should absolutely do that if that's what you want to do. Now, if you're a wealthy guy, man, you out here just doing your thing and you just want to slay chicks, you just want to smash chicks all the time, don't get married. Just keep doing you. Right? But at some point, you'll get tired of just banging all these chicks. I remember the first time I went to Medellin. This is way before there was a passport bro thing, right? It was way before that. And it was the same in Aruba, right? It's the same in DR, it's the same in Brazil, it's the same in Japan, South Korea, wherever you go. But we're in Medellin. And man, when I tell you, it was so many beautiful women walking around down there, and you're talking to a guy who's used to dealing with dimes. First time I got to Medellin, I'm like, oh my God, you couldn't throw a rock and not hit a 10. That's how funny these women down here. I'm talking about me and my homeboy, because I'm down there with my dude. He take me to the El Dorado Mall right there in Medellin. We go, or Medellin. We're in the mall. He talking to me, trying to, tell me what's going on. This is what it's like down here, the do's and don'ts and all that. So we're walking next to each other. Next thing you know, he realized he talking to himself. He looked back. There's a McDonald's in the mall. I'm all up in the McDonald's window talking to the girl making the ice cream. Like, give me one of them ice creams. I don't even speak any Spanish. I'm over there using my broken, hola español, whatever. I'm like, hola, como está? And this is before smartphones. I actually would write down the Spanish that I needed to speak. And I had like a cheat sheet. I would pull it out and I had the Spanish to English dictionary or whatever. I guess English to Spanish dictionary. But my man was talking. He looked back. Man, I'm all up in the McDonald's window talking to the girl making my ice cream cone. She was a dime. I'm talking one of the finest women I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't believe it. I'm like, you working at McDonald's? What's going on down here? Now it's different. Passport Bros done messed that up. We'll do a show on Passport Bros. Passport Bros done jacked that all up. But if you are enjoying your life, you made it, you got all kind of money, you are in the elite of the elite, you're a high value man, you're a top tier man, you're out there doing your thing, women are into you, women see you. If you just enjoy banging chicks, then get fixed and keep banging chicks. You definitely want to, if you're doing that, you definitely want to get fixed, because you're going to push when you should pull. And next thing you know, you're going to get that call. And, paternity fraud, you got a whole lot of women out there looking for dudes like that with money. They'll come and say they pregnant and will be pregnant, but you won't be the father. As a matter of fact, I got a story for y'all, man. I got one quick story, man. I think you guys will appreciate. Here we go.
Everybody sit down, please. It's story time. It's story time.
One of my homeboys doing his thing. This is a guy, man. He got multiple properties. He has property in LA, right? So Studio City, to be precise. He has property in Brickell. He has property in Doral. And he has property somewhere in New York. I forget which borough. Young guy, right? He's a little bit younger than me. He's almost 50. He's like in his late 40s. He's almost 50. He's been working hard his whole life. He is killing the game. Timepieces on. He's in shape, man. He travels business class wherever he goes, stays in the finest hotels, right? He's in corporate America, so he's worked his way up. He's on the C-suite, doing his thing. We at this little spot, right? Salsa. Doesn't matter what city we in. City's not, but we in America. And man, we see this chick in the club. And we get there early because it's one of those places that you can't even bribe your way into. He speaks Spanish fluently. It's one of those places we can't even bribe our way into. So you just got to get there early to get a table. So we get there early. We got our table, get a couple bottles. And it was funny because a bottle of Hennessy was like $100. And I was tripping. I'm like, bro. I was like, all right, we'll take 2 bottles. So we got our table set up or whatever. But I see him at the bar. He had posted up at the bar for a minute. I see some chick at the bar. I thought she was a waitress. She's wearing like Lululemon, like the yoga pants. It's got on like a little athletic looking top or whatever. Doesn't look like she's dressed to be in here. I thought she worked there. You know what I mean? So he bring her over, whatever. And I'm like, yo, I thought she worked here. He's like, nah, man, she's just up in here, right? So long story boring, he takes Shorty to the crib, back to the telly. Smash. Right? Y'all know how we get down. You take it to the crib and it's just getting it in. Right? So she's, when I came by the room the next day around lunchtime, she was just leaving. So they was in there like, bro, they had a session. You hear me? They in there doing their thing. Gets her information or whatever. They were texting all that day, and then we left 2 days later. I came back to Tampa. He went to where he stayed. Dude hit me up about a week later. He was like, yo, you remember little shorty from the salsa spot? I'm like, yeah. Like, yo, man, she blocked me. She blocked me on social media. I can't call her. She tried to call her, tried to text her, block, whatever. Nothing. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, bro, I thought y'all hit it off. Like, we did, bro. It was a good old time. I was trying to keep her around. I was gonna take her down with me next time we go to Brazil. I'm like, for real? Like that? Like, yo, she said she was into girls. I'm like, all right. I guess that's not gonna happen now. He's like, yeah, I guess not. Right? Fast forward 6 months. Was it 6 months? 3 months. Fast forward 3 months. He gets a call from Shorty. Right? That old, hey, big head, blah, blah. He's like, who is this? Because he legit didn't have her information. He zeroed out her information, cleared it all out. So like, oh, this is so-and-so, remember from the club. We were da. Oh, what's up with you? What's up, girl? How you feeling? And then right away, he was like, did the FaceTime with her, make sure it was her, he could see her, whatever. Okay, girl, what's happening? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, look, I just wanted to let you know, had a really good time with you, and you were amazing. Sorry about blocking you, but I'm pregnant.
Houston, we have a problem.
So my man's like, word, you pregnant? He's like, well, congratulations. Who's the father? She's like, what do you mean? You're the father. Remember what we were doing and you finished in me and everything? And he was like, yeah, I remember that. I remember all that. It was great. It was amazing. But you need to understand something. I can't have kids. I'm fixed. Right? She hangs up. He calls and tells me what the deal was. I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy, man. He's like, yeah. So we talked about it, we just tried to figure it out. And we believe what she did, she was having problems with her boyfriend. That's what we believe was going on. Maybe her boyfriend said, I don't want to have babies yet or whatever. She's living with this guy. We went through her Instagram before she blocked him and we saw looked like she was in the game, bro. Looked like she was a dancer. There was plenty of pictures like singles everywhere and her wearing stuff. Like, oh, looks like she's a dancer. And I told my man, like, you a wild boy, bro. Like, never mind the baby. You could have got something else. He was like, yeah, I know I got to watch myself. But, it was just so good, bro. Like, crazy girls got the best. Yeah, they do. They got the best. So we figure she wanted to be with this guy. The guy was breaking up with her. She decides, well, I'm just going to get pregnant and then he'll be forced to stay with me. So we believe she went out and just banged a bunch of dudes until she got pregnant and then went back and told her boyfriend, like, oh, you can't leave me. We got a baby coming, blah, blah, blah. And the same thing, her boyfriend probably said, I'm fixed. So then comes to find out that she trying to put the baby on dudes. She really just trying to keep dudes, not even about the child. And dude leaves her. So now she's like, I better find some money. So she starts trying to call the guys that she was with because she probably legit doesn't know who the father is. And then my man was like, yeah, bro. He's like, yeah, bro. I can't have kids. But he was like, if you want to get a DNA test done, that's fine. But I can't have kids. But all she can remember is this dude had a suite at one of the nicest hotels in her town. She knew he had bread. We sitting around eating whatever, doing everything we do. Uber Blacks, the way we dress. She looking at the watches and everything. So timepieces. So she probably thinking this will be the guy who can afford to take me and this child. And that didn't work. So it just goes to show you how diabolical women can be. So if you out here, you running through women, right? Like, women can't be diabolical. It's a cold game out here, man. And I ain't even mad at Shorty. I'm not mad at Shorty. What if dude was the father? What if, what I'm saying? What if dude was in love with her? She would have got what she wanted. It's the game. It is what it is. But if you out here, you got a bunch of dudes, a bunch of money, and you out here trying to smash these chicks, and you a guy, get fixed. Get fixed or be prepared to pay close to $25,000, maybe $30,000 a month in child support, depending on what state you were in, right? Because some states are more expensive than others, New York and California being two of the most expensive. And and if you're gonna go reckless like that, go reckless in Texas, man. That's the cheapest place for child support. Let's get back to the video.
What I'm not even gonna get into his businesses that I don't really believe in. Because it's a dude, the Don Ozzy. If you can see, bro, you can go to there and watch that one. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty exposing. I mean, I remember watching an interview right here with Jasmine Jafar, and the way this happened, y'all should watch that interview. It didn't end too good for Saint. She was on him, grilling him. He's like, and it's funny, like you're trying to tell these, and I think it's another one when he was on whatever podcast, and they're like, bro, all them girls got more money than you. All them girls got more money than you. And then with Destiny, he was like, he creating NFTs. I don't know why y'all kept talking about NFTs. I don't know about the NFT situation with Saint, nor do I care. I always knew it was a scam. But yeah, man, from the NFTs, and then you're sitting here telling these women how to live their life, but you're living your life as a complete fraud. An over-opinionated hypocrite. That's crazy to me. You cannot be that hypocritical and be so high and mighty to where you feel like you can educate and mastering women. Bruh, stop it. It's so easy to look at a hoe and call her a hoe and tell her what she's doing is wrong. But here's the thing. If you was to reverse those scripts, nigga, if you was born a woman and you had a hustler's mentality and you could show your titty and make a whole body, man, it'd be hard to not do that. Listen. Stop it. Knock it off. That's why I be telling dude, I get it. It's easy to call him it, but if you had the power to do that and get ahead in life, it almost seemed like you'd be a fool not to. You always say, if the men are stronger, smarter, and they do all this, right? They got all this stuff, which is true. But the women, face it, they're sexier. They got something in them that can bring a man to its knees. And it'd be a fool for them not to try in their power. Just think if it was your daughter or your sister, you would tell your sister, hey, use what you got to get what you want. You would say probably use your brains and all that. But if you can get a promotion, go in there looking pretty, make sure you do it, have it out a little bit so you can get the job and promote it. Because they would much rather look at you than this ugly nigga. You see what I'm saying? Period. You would understand that. And if you had a daughter, you would, of course, but you'd be like, no, present yourself well enough that you're going to use what you got to help you get what you want. Not necessarily be a whore, but this is the bare minimum. You see, guys don't have a emergency, something that they can just always lean on. And that would be power. That would be strength to overtake something. Women's strength is in their beauty as well.
I'm hearing him. I can't really disagree with him. Now, I have a daughter, and we talk about dressing appropriate all the time, especially when we go outside. The sexuality part, I haven't had those conversations with her yet, but we will. I mean, she's almost legally grown, so we're going to have those talks. But yeah, man, I mean, it's two different worlds when it comes to men and women. Women always talk about the wage gap. Like, oh, there's a wage gap. That's not a wage gap. It's just men work harder. Men are more willing to work harder and less agreeable. So they don't, you just can't pay a guy any old thing. Like in the air traffic control business, if you're a controller in the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, you work for the FAA and you take a supervisor position, there's negotiation that plays into that. So if you have a man and a woman, and generally speaking, there are a lot of women who know how to negotiate, but generally speaking, most women are very agreeable. Most men are disagreeable. So, and guys are going to say, no, I want more. Like if they come and say, we're going to offer you this much for this position, the guy's going to say, nah, I need more. I'm going to need 15% more, 20% more. I'm going to need more. If you want me to be a soup at this facility, you want me to take on this, I'm going to need more. And there's wiggle room there. So you might have one controller who gets paid a little bit more than the other, and then you're like, oh, well, it's a female controller, she's getting paid less. Wage gaps. Like, well, did she agreed to that salary? Why didn't she negotiate higher? And the same thing that happened with a guy. You might get a woman who's getting paid more, and that guy's like, oh, it's because of feminism, and y'all are paying her more because she's a woman. It's like, nah, she negotiated a better deal than you. So, I mean, I look at that, I'm like, things are different for women in America than they are for men. And that's just the bottom line. So what he's saying makes sense to me. Like, he's saying, what he's saying right now, Brother Ronnie, I'm not 100% on board, But I get where he's coming from. He's basically saying men and women are different when it comes to certain things. And he's, you know, he's really going in on Marquette right now. Like he's really going in on Marquette. And I mean, it is what it is. Everyone has two eyes, bro. You got two ears, bro. You can see and hear what's going on. You have to make up your own mind. I look at it as game. This is how it is. This is what Marquette has decided to do. And this is how he is going to promote himself. And I'm not knocking it. But at the same time, when people do knock you, you know, you got to be prepared to, you know, stand on what it is you're standing on. Right? Simple as that.
Because a beautiful woman can get the beast to do whatever they want. They fall in love with him, even though he's strong enough to obliterate her, break her head. Come on. Bowser and what is it? Print can destroy your world. But if you married me, shit, we good. I'll probably listen to you and do whatever she wants. She didn't bite that bullet. You see what I'm saying? Spitting facts, dog. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop me if I'm wrong, man. But I appreciate everybody showing me love on this channel. And if you see me talking about anything else, man, I want y'all tell me what I should talk about more, because I don't want to stretch myself so far that y'all just like, oh, he's off of this and that. Because this is not a channel. This is just opinions, commentary, feedback, honest observations. I become, you know, where I'm this person talking about, I'm like getting in there. No, when I see something wrong, I will speak on it. But for the most part, I want to it's not a hate channel. I'm not really hating. I'm just being extremely honest. And if somebody's a hypocrite, I got to call them a hypocrite. If somebody's fake, I got to call them fake. If somebody's wrong, I'm going to call them wrong. Why I think they wrong. If they want to debate me, I would love to debate on face to face. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the things that I have said here hold weight. It's not just, I'm showing you proof. You know, these folks can't admit when they wrong. Saint Center, clout chasing. He will call women hoes, get on everybody who's more popular than him. If they don't rock with him, you're sorry, he's making a video about you. And look where it's gotten him. You got exposed all over the internet. Like if any, the sassy assassins, the sassians, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, okay?
Damn.
Peace to the saint, whatever. Y'all are like damn near caught. Like y'all are not even listening to the truth. Y'all not even considering facts. Y'all just like, whatever, you're a hater, peace to the saint. Like, bro, beat it, bro. We have no, we don't have nothing to talk about. I wish you the best still, you know? Hey, you can exist in your delusion, and I hope you're comfortable in it. Stay there, because I mean that's right where I want you. And with that being said, man, if y'all like the video, I ain't got to tell y'all to like it, because I already know y'all gonna do that. Y'all been subscribing, man. Thank y'all for that. I just can't thank y'all enough. And I'm just gonna be on YouTube more, because I feel like I got a lot to say, and I gotta quit talking to myself. You know what I mean? But I gotta go to work. Make sure I ain't late. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I clock in. Yes, I clock in. Sorry. I'm all about a bag. I'm a business owner of 2 businesses.
Hey, shout out to brother Ronnie, guys. Shout out to him. I gotta give him his props. He put together a good show, man. He put together a good show. And again, his link is in the description below if you want to go over there and check out part 1, or you want to go and support him. It's right there. I agree with him, man. I agree with him there as well. You know, man, I forgot to adjust my camera. Maybe pull the camera in a little bit. All right, so I knew it was something I forgot to do when I set up. When I look at what's going on with Saint Center, everyone can see what he's doing. This is advertisement. This is branding. This is him getting eyes on his platform. And hopefully he can capture a new market. Hopefully he can get some more people coming over to check him out. There's always, you know, there are new guys coming into the space all the time, and they don't necessarily know who's where doing what. But when you go back and you watch, if you go back and watch what Saint Center was saying about Fresh and Fit, it's a lot of, you didn't call me back, and it's a lot of, you didn't help me, and I was here for you, and I stood up for you when no one else would, and all that kind of stuff. And it devolved into, I made you who you are. It is what it is. if I do a video and I'm talking about Myron or Fresh, and I put Fresh and Fit in the thumbnail, and I add Myron gangs or whatever, that video is gonna do good. If I do the same thing with Anton Daniels, that video is gonna do numbers. If I do, for me, like, again, anything over 100 is decent, and like the viewership is growing and more people are watching, but it's all relative. Marquette knows if he goes after Fresh and Fit, he's gonna have a couple videos that's gonna do tens of thousands, if not 100,000 views. That's what he's after. He can't go after the Tate brothers because he didn't have a relationship with them. If he could, he would. He went after academics, and he wasn't able to kind of capture probably what he was trying to capture, but he got the views. Candace Owens, go after her, get the views. I mean, there are certain people that you can go after. I think, like I said, right now, Andrew Wilson. Hey, Marquette, if you're watching, go after Andrew Wilson. You're gonna get mad views if you go after him right now, bro. Mad views. If you're looking for someone to go after. And Andrew Wilson loves to do the debate thing. When Andrew Wilson and Coach Greg Adams, y'all remember that? Big numbers. Andrew Wilson and Rich Cooper, big numbers. So that's definitely what Marquette is doing. It makes sense. If you in these YouTube trenches and you're doing this YouTube thing, man, it's all about eyeballs. It's all about clicks and views. Simple as that. That's the bottom line. And if that's what if you're in this business, that's what you want to do. Like I said before, if I really just wanted to make money, if that was my thing, like, you know what, I'm just going to go for broke. I want to get as many subscribers as I can. I want to get as many views as I can. I want to get it up there. I want to, like, I did an interview. Matthew Cox had me on his platform. Shout out to Matthew Cox, man. He does like true crime stuff. He's here in the Tampa area. He had me on his platform. First time I went on his platform, and over 200,000 views. 200,000 views of just me and him talking. I was like, wow. And then the second time he brought me on, he kind of brought me on as a backup. He was trying to get Myron to come up. Myron had agreed to do the show, but something happened. He was, and he was like calling me because I'm the one who brought those two platforms together. And he was asking me questions, and I told him what I had. Like, hey man, this is what I think it is. He was like, well, are you busy tomorrow? Can you come over tomorrow and do a show? I'm like, sure, I'll come do the show. And I did it. I did it because I felt an obligation. I brought them together. There was no obligation for me to do it, but it's like, all right, I'm gonna come do it. I'm gonna fill in. I brought y'all together. Matthew Cox did Fresh and Fit. I was able to get those two platforms together. I'm kind of proud, pat myself on the back. But I didn't want anything. I mean, but when he said, hey, will you come do it? I'm like, yeah, I'll come do it. That second video did like 20,000 subscribers. 20,000 views. Bro, I would love to get 20,000 views over here on I Really Want to Know podcast. You know what I mean? But that's just the game. Matthew Cox has over 1 million subscribers now. Shout out to him. He got it like about a month ago, I think. He finally hit 1 million. He's doing good work over there. So that's the game. If I really wanted to make money, if I wanted to get, the clout, all I got to do is start talking shit about Myron and Fresh. The stuff that I know to be true about Myron and Fresh, and especially if I'm not, if I don't have a problem lying, I'm not going to lie. But, there are people out there who don't care. They're going to lie, do whatever they got to do, say whatever they got to say just to get the views. I could easily go out there, do that, and then start tagging Albert and Preach and call Albert and Preach and say, hey, I got this information and I know about this and I know about that just to get clout. I mean, I would never do that. But there are people who do. And that's the game. Right? Fresh, I'll ask Fresh about like, hey man, how come so many people come after y'all? He's like, bro, it's clout. It's like, we're fair game. We're the big boys. And this is before they got demonetized. Like, they're like, we're the big boys right now, man. Everybody's coming after us. You're gonna get views. You're gonna get engagement in your chat. You're gonna get all that. And that's what's going on with Saint and Sinner. That's what's going on. Brother Ted's in the building, man. What's happening, fam? Oh, hold on. Let me show you some love. It's some people out there and they'll give up a lot of dignity and self-respect over these views, man. Tez, do me a favor, man. Drop your link in there so people can come support you, man. Drop your link in the chat, man. We got like 65 people in here. This is a really big day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching and commenting and all that. I really appreciate y'all, man. Like, this is a big day for me, man. We had over 70 people in the chat at some point. I've only had when I did that show about the Castle Club thing, there was like 200 people on that live. So, I appreciate when we have shows like this. I hope we're able to give you guys a perspective that's useful, that's helpful. I hope we're adding value. I really do. Legend is right. That is why Ivan Priest go after Fresh and Fit. I mean, look at the views that Ivan Priest get on going after Fresh and Fit. What Saint the Center is doing, what Marquette is doing, is no different than what Ivan Priest is doing. This is the brand. They're in that brand where they just get on their high horse and they talk down and they talk crazy about people. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not. That thing that Abba did with Sadia Khan, wow. That right there, I'm not a fan of Abba or Priest, but I will give them a Don DeMarco for that. Don DeMarco. They absolutely destroyed Sadia Khan, bro. They destroyed her. And they should have, because she was on some fouls. She was on some foulness, bro. But again, when I look at her, when I look at Sadia Khan and what she was doing, I'm not mad at her. You got this attractive woman with this accent who's saying all these red pill talking points. Man, I knew she was going to do big numbers. She was getting bread. These guys were paying thousands of dollars allegedly just to get a phone call with her, a one-on-one, session with her, man. She was getting bread. And then, of course, whoever you are, your true self is always going to come out, man. It's too many cameras, too many people to know what's going on. So when her story broke, Auburn Priest were all over it, bro. Right? All over it. Same thing with the rap game. Same thing, man. 50 Cent is the king of trolling. Why does he do it? Because it brings him so many eyeballs and he makes some money. Look at what 50's done, bro. 50 he's a gatekeeper now. He's a cool kid in Hollywood at the highest level. 50 can get shit greenlit. Most people don't understand how powerful that is. If you can get something made in Hollywood by picking up the phone, 50 has legit Oscar caliber people on his team now. He's the man. So I definitely see what Saint in the Center is doing. I see what Marquette is doing. He's going to continue to do it. I ain't mad at it. That's how the game goes. That's how the game is played. I just hope that you guys, whether you team Saint in the Center or team Fresh and Fit, team Marquette, team Myron, I just hope you guys are paying attention to the real messages that are out here. I hope you guys understand that the game has changed. It's not the same game that I came up in. Technology has made this thing different. And in order to get women to see you, in order to be successful out here dating, bro, you're going to have to move a certain way. And you're going to have to become the best version of yourself. Right? You're going to have to, if you're a good guy, you should be a good man. You want to be a good man, but you're going to have to adapt some bad boy traits. I'm not saying you got to be a bad boy. I'm not saying you got to go out here and be an asshole towards women. But what I am saying is you have to adapt some bad boy traits. And that's just to get the women to look your way, bro. And then you need to have game. And to me, game is understanding of how this thing works. You need to have game. You need to have experience. You need to go out here, pay attention to what you're seeing, and learn from it. Right? That's what we're talking about over here. I don't care whose team you're on. I hope you're getting that message. And I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of people ask me, and I'll say this and then I'll end everything. A lot of people ask me this question, like, well, which system is better? And they'll ask me, like, yo, bro, in your opinion, man, which system is better? Is it the pickup artistry, like playing with fire, like Alex and them? Is it pickup artistry? Is it just the brazen street game like Lucario and Miles and Dose of Game is talking about? Is it like the church game, the doggy game? Like, which is the best way to do it? And I just say this. Of all the stuff that's out there right now, my personal opinion, the best system to go out here and put yourself in a situation where you get to choose the type of woman, be surrounded by beautiful women. You get to choose. You got women competing for you. is what Michael Surtain is doing over there at Men of Action. I'm gonna be 100 with you, bro. What Michael Surtain is doing over there at Men of Action is fire. The way he does it, having events, becoming good at something, being competent, and the way he, I don't want to use the word, I don't want to say he uses women, but the way women flock to what he's doing. And bro, if you have 4 or 5 beautiful women with you, they will get you into any event on planet Earth. If you show up with 5 dimes, you're getting in. On a list, not on a list, it doesn't matter. You're getting in. You're going to be on the stage. You're going to be up there by the DJ. They're going to comp you a bottle. You're going to get a booth. That will never change. If you have the ability to pick up the phone and get 50 to 100 beautiful women to show up at a location that you picked, like, bro, you the man. And what he does is he's just doing business, and a byproduct of his business are these beautiful women he brings around. And he gets an opportunity to talk to these women. The way that he approaches it, the way that he does it, if you're a guy with no skill whatsoever, you're just trying to find the best system, it's going to get you the most bang for your buck, so to speak. It's going to get you around beautiful women and put you in a situation where you can at least be seen. I would say today that's MOA. That's an unpaid endorsement. I have not met Michael Surtain. I will meet him one of these days, I'm sure, but I have not met him yet. That's not a paid endorsement. That's just me looking at the different things that are going on out here in the Mano Swamp. That's something that I know for a fact works. I know for a fact that works. Just show me a picture of my mansion, game over. Yeah. I know for a fact that works, man. That social proof thing is real. And, if you can master that, that'll at least get you in the game. Now, the rest is on you. Right. And there's more to it than just having a bunch of women show up, bro. Like this is work involved in that, man. And I'm telling you, being around beautiful women can be a pain in the ass. It's like herding cats. It's no fun sometimes, but it's a necessary evil. And bro, I was doing the social proof thing what Michael Surtain was doing way back in the early 2000s without even knowing it. That's how I got into all the cool clubs in LA. That was my past. I would show up. That was part of my thing. Get cool with the bouncer, get cool with the managers, get cool with the wait staff, get cool with the owners. And yeah, bro, now you win. I was everywhere. But I always showed up with 2 or 3 beautiful women. Always. And this was before bottle service. But I would run a tab at the bar and, bro, they would be comping at least half my bill. And I would bring dudes with me who had bread, the guys who ran with me, my fellow air traffic controllers and some of the comics. I'm like, damn, bro, where you get these women from? Like the comedy shows, because I was promoting shows. So it's the same thing. It's what Michael Surtain is trying to teach you guys now. I was doing that back in the day before I knew about the red pill, before I knew about the Mano Swamp, before I knew about social proof or any of that. That's how I was moving. This is why I feel confident in endorsing that way of doing business. Right. So that's it. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. This was fun. Hey, man, let me know what you guys want to see on the next show. I'm doing a show later on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk about the air traffic control fatal crash that occurred at LaGuardia. I'm gonna break that down tonight. This gives me an opportunity to use my ATC skills, bro. Like I said, this is I Really Want to Know podcast. We talk about everything over here. So, hopefully you guys could come back. I would love to see 60 or 70 people in that chat, as well as we break down the radio transmissions, and I can kind of tell you guys what I believe was going on in that tower, the moments leading up to that fatal crash on the runway. So we're going to do that tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. I Really Want to Know podcast. Again, thank y'all so much for joining, man. I really appreciate y'all. Do me a favor if you're new, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate you. If you're Team Myron or your Team Marquette, it's all love, bro. I don't care. We talking about all things that can help men. I hope you guys are getting it in, you know, that in your communities. But if you're not, you can get it over here. Appreciate all my day ones, man. Everybody who was here today, man. This was fun. I look forward to seeing y'all soon. I'm DL Saint. I'm going to holler at you. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. And if you like that video, check out this one or maybe that one. We'll see you around. Peace.